All right, welcome everybody. Welcome to Financial Intelligence Masterclass. This is featured for the Staple Crew and Mr. Simon Says Crypto, and we are here to help everybody prosper. This is educational for everybody. I am Edward Pereira, your host. My co-host, good friend, and business partner Attila Heveshi is here. Mr. Simon Says, and we may get a visit from Mr. Alan Staple. We also have another great special guest, Mr. Ed Barsano. It's kind of like, what do I say, Ed? It's kind of like jamming Einstein together with Bill Gates, with Warren Buffett, and you end up looking like this, right?
Thanks for
So,
not saying. Thanks for not saying Pee Wee Herman.
Oh, wow.
no Pee Wee Herman, but the genius. There's a long way to say the genius, Mr. Ed Barsano, that has created a platform that allows everybody to prosper. This is going to sound like a joke when I say it, but you're going to hear it back up and you're going to see it backed up with facts. He has literally conquered the stock and crypto markets to where you can make money in your sleep 100% unattended. Yes, it sounds too good to be true. Your mother was right 99% of the time. If it sounds too good to be true, it's probably too good to be true, except for the 1%, what you're going to see in here tonight. So with that, thank you to everybody. Simon, you want to say a couple words and then I'll go into expectations. And then you tell us where to drive from here and we'll keep going.
Sure, perfect. Well, first off, I'd like to thank you, gentlemen, for allowing me to be on the panel this evening and going forward. And also, I'd like to thank everybody in the chat for showing up and bringing your guys' questions, because any question at all, as you guys know, is just going to help evolve all of our perspectives with this, man. And it might, you guys might even ask a question that might trigger Ed going, I thought about that when I was building this, but I backed off. But maybe it's a time that we add that little bell and whistle to the trader or to the platform. So no question is a dumb question, except the one that doesn't get asked.
That's
all I
true.
got.
That's true. Yep. And I'm glad you said that, Simon, and thank you. It is this is a very interactive community of people that are tired of being BS'd and lied to in the current financial system, because 99% of what you've been taught growing up is a scam. How to keep you just over broke. That's why they call it a job. You're taught how to go to school, get a job, trade time for money. I don't know about you, but I'm all out of time, and I want to find things that are smarter, not harder, to do things that buy my time back. A little personal intro to this is when I met Attila, and Attila told me about the relationship with Mr. Barsano and how he created this thing, and I'm like, come on, man, really? It doesn't exist. That does not exist. Well, I'm telling you, I'm the convert. What has it done for me? I have employed this, become very good friends with both of these gentlemen, and brand new to Alan and Simon, but we're off to a great start. This system has allowed me to build a legacy for my children's children from a financial perspective. It has bought me time back. I have an 11-year-old. I'll be 61 in 2 days. I have an 11-year-old that's going to be, or a 10-year-old that'll be 11 in 3 weeks, and I cannot tell you how blessed we are to have this opportunity to share with you, because we're here to share. We're here to educate. Anybody that's been in the space can spell crypto. They know what's going on. We'll talk about market manipulation. We'll talk about all that stuff. But I appreciate you tolerating my diatribe about what this has done for me. And my hopes are, all of our hopes are, is that it will bless you in ways that will buy time back for you. So with that, I am going to set some expectations for what you're about to see tonight. Please give me a thumbs up as soon as I can get this bigger.
Yeah, it's on its way. Yep, it's good.
All right. So think of one word, because this is what makes the difference. You're here to learn
Helter
something.
Skelter.
Not that
Oh,
word.
I'm sorry. I
Not
thought you
that.
said think of one word.
Not that word.
That's
That's
two
it.
words.
With your inside voice. So you're here. You're all here investing your very, very valuable time, and we appreciate that. We're here to create and plant seeds for a transformation. Unless you can, you're free to leave the masterclass now if you can say yes to this question. The question is do you have more money that you want?
All right. Well, I'll see you guys. You want me to stick around?
All right. Have a good night, Ed. Take care, buddy.
Good to see
Appreciate you
guys,
showing
man.
up. If you could pay the tab on
Right.
your way
Other
out, we'd
than
appreciate that.
other than the clowns that do not have a stand-up comic show that get paid for it, we're all here because is there enough money? I guess there's enough money, but would we all like to have a little bit more that buys time and freedom?
Sure.
Absolutely. So thank you, both of you clowns at Bookends, for chiming in. That we appreciate that very much. So think about the word transformation, and does this potentially, this information, give you the opportunity to transform your part of your financial life. So you're going to see about a 45-minute deep dive into GoBabyTrade, which is the platform created by Mr. Ed Barsano. You're going to see two systems as an example. You're going to see a system that I used that is relevant to the next bullet point, the $1 billion report. I did an experiment with, and you're going to see so many valuable tools within this system. And by the way, you're going to be provided links that are that represent a substantial discount to the retail price on the 3-year license. But even before you do that, the link that we provide will take you to a space where you can do all kinds of homework. Now, I'd be stunned if you don't walk out of the back of this demonstration and presentation shaking your head going, what? Because this platform, this automated crypto trading platform and money management platform does not exist anywhere else on the planet. If you hear bought this or bought that, or somebody promising you 6,000% return a day, it's a lie. This does not exist anywhere else except through this platform. You're going to see what I've deemed a $1 billion report, which is a report that's issued monthly within the system that identifies optimal trading opportunities. Now, the system works on volatility, or another little key that I've quoted is that it eats volatility. It literally takes advantage and positions you to where the market cannot move. You've trapped it. You'll hear that in detail from Mr. Barsano, that it does not move without paying you. You're going to see a live demonstration of a real platform, not just my simulation. My simulation has a great value, and you'll understand that when we show it. And then you're going to understand what it means to truly have a system that's set it and forget it, that's highly secured, which is different from anything else on the planet. So you remain completely in control, 100% of your funds. No one has access to your account, not even this trading platform. It only has the authority to send buy and sell orders to your platform on your behalf, 24/7, 365. So shield your eyes, because it's all going to be read in a second. Okay, I'm not going to read it word for word, but this is we're here sharing this knowledge as educational and informational purposes only. We're not here as financial advisors, investment, tax, or legal advisors. You're in the wrong space. We are here to show you factually what this platform does. When I say factually, it's going to be based on past performance. Future performance is not indicative, but I can tell you in a 90% down market since this product and platform was released in April of 2021 to now, we're in a 90% down market and it still makes money. I'll call on Simon to talk about what happened in the flash crash that was surprising to us, not so much to us, and certainly not to Mr. Barsano, because he knew it was coming and how his baby, GoBabyTrade, would react. But you'll hear some input from Simon and what his crew has been hearing. We're not guaranteeing any results. You're here as whatever you see as is. Not trying to scare you away, but just to say, listen, we're going to give you facts, not fiction. It's going to sound like hype, and I sound a little like hype because it's not for any other reason of the transformation that I told you that I personally experienced for me and my family. So we have a great crew. We've got Simon and Alan. We've got Mr. Barsano. We've got Attila and myself that are all represented in this community to give you 6-star white glove service. We will put all of this information as we go into the chat, so you won't leave without it. We've created a community that you can talk amongst yourselves. If you have more questions, then do your discovery. This is the Stable Crew exclusive link that will give you $1,000 off a 3-year license. We'll talk a little bit more about that. And then I talked about posting the replays on financial intelligence. It's all here for you. And with that, I am going to, let me mention this. So I see questions coming in. We're leaving the chat open. So what we found exciting was that people that own the trader have feedback that's better than anything else that we could say. Don't believe what we say. I mean, I'd like you to believe what we say, but be skeptical. That's a good trait to have. But if you have a question or go, oh my gosh, this is too good to be true, you can find people show up in the chat unsolicited by us that will go, this is the real deal. To include the gentleman new live with us, Mr. Simon Says. He's experienced it firsthand, and he'll get a chance to share that as well. But with that, let me turn it over to my co-host Attila Hevesi to start your engines. As I always say, put your 6-point racing harness on, because you're going to see things that may cause you to fall out of your chair and bump your head, and we don't want to be responsible for that. So a little bit of levity with that.
You need to add that to the disclaimer.
What's that? Oh, don't bump your head. All right.
Okay. Thank you, Edward. Good intro. Let me just do a little bit of house cleaning here. Housekeeping. Number one, if you do have a question, we prefer the questions actually go into the Q&A, if you don't mind, just to keep it a little more organized, because we'll be asking all of your questions and directing them at Mr. Barsano or Edward or myself. Also, I have to piggyback on the red section. Remember all the letters, the disclaimer a few minutes ago? Actually, there is a guarantee here. The guarantee is this: the trader will make you as many or as much profit as the market allows it to. This is totally 1000%. As brilliant as this software is, it's truly amazing. And you'll hear the story in a few minutes. That's my job, to tell you how I met Mr. Barsano. And as a result, we're all here tonight. So that's pretty cool. But I've seen this since 2012. And as brilliant as this creation is, it's still up to the market. If you've got 2 or 3 weeks when the market's not doing anything, just because there's not enough profit coming in, it doesn't mean the trader is not working for you, because what it's doing there, it's building your inventory. You'll hear more of that from Mr. Barsano, but just based on a few comments I'm seeing already, everybody needs to understand that. It's all market dependent. So when Alan Staples says you could expect more or less about $50 of profit a month every $1,000, it's market dependent. It might be 30, it might be 20. He may be way off. It might be 120. You see what I'm saying? So keep that here at the forefront of your mind, as well as a few other things that I'm going to ask you to keep at the forefront of your mind in about 10, 12 minutes. So why are we all here? Well, an interesting thing happened after Mr. Barsano graduated from the Navy. He landed a job hired by Bill Gates at Microsoft. This is mid-1980s, folks, when Microsoft was like booming. And their phones didn't stop ringing off the hook, but he was a master programmer there. He was the lead on most projects, and he doesn't like it when I say this, but he really was a rock star there for almost 10 years. He retired. He retired a young man. He was under the age of 40, and started buying those tech stocks, because the internet revolution, 1995. And in 2000, there was a major stock market crash. He lost 60% of his wealth, roughly. Now, I used to say, unfortunately, he lost that much money, but it's actually very, very fortunate for the world and all of us, because he said, you know, I feel like I was robbed. I'm going to hurt somebody for that. And he used his programming prowess and went on a mission. And his mission was to level the playing field and allow the average person to be able to have success in trading without doing anything. They could just download the software, let it go, and the software will do everything. It's not gambling. He took the gambling out of it. He took the emotion out of it, and it worked amazingly well. He launched it actually right around 2000 and a half, 2001, somewhere around there. Now, fast forward to 2012, a good friend of mine said, Attila, let me ask you a question. How would you like to make money in the stock market and not do anything? And I was like, that's not possible. What are you talking about? So he said, no, there's a way. I want to introduce you to this former Microsoft guy. You got to meet him. So I met Ed Barsano in about 20 minutes, and I said, time out, say no more. I want to buy this software because, see, I'm a major non-technical person. I'm a big picture sentiment guy. Yes, I've always wanted to make money in the stock market, but no, I didn't want to learn how to be a day trader. I don't have the patience for that. I'm not wired like that. But when I saw that there was automation, folks, this was amazing back in 2000. It was amazing in 2012. It's amazing now, but imagine 25 years ago or 13 years ago, I was blown away. So I put it to work. Now I must say, caveat, back then it was very cumbersome to download the software. It took 60 to 90 minutes, very, very unlike today. But once it was downloaded, get this, it turned itself on every Monday morning when the stock market opened at 9:30, traded for you all day long, taking profits where it could, buying more at a lower price when it went down a certain percentage that you set it for. And at 4 p.m. when the stock market closed, the trader shut off. 100% unattended. What does that mean? That means zero interaction required by us, zero screen time. Folks, when I tell you this thing was a mind blower, it was a mind blower, especially for back then. So I actually helped Mr. Barsano market it through a marketing company that I had come in touch with or come to know. And in 2 years, they sold actually about $16 million worth of licenses. I mean, these things were flying off the shelf. Great, great track record. Everybody was happy with it, except some people like me weren't that technical. And I finally figured it out. And I even knew how to do some of the settings because back then it was 10 pages of settings. Now it's one. But what happened was, just to fast forward, not to bore you. And by the way, my background, I forgot to mention, my background is 100% financial. Everything back in when I first got to Florida, I was a financial planner with Mass Mutual. I raised money for mining projects. I've always been in financially related endeavors. But in 2017, I got a taste of Bitcoin mining and I made money and I caught the fever. And then life got really busy for me. I couldn't concentrate. So in 2020, September, I decided I was in the right place at the right time. And I said, you know what? I missed the internet revolution. There's no way on earth I'm missing this one. Because to me, it was way too fascinating, way too lucrative. And I saw that the train already in 2020 had left the station. There was no turning back from this, even though the regulatory tide was still very much against crypto back then and blockchain and all that. So exactly the middle of March 2024, I'm sitting at my desk. I had a little bit of a frustrating day. And I'm a cash flow guy. When I was young growing up, my parents said cash is king. I believe that's out the window. I believe that's been replaced with cash flow is king. And the reason I say that is enough cash flow for the month, at the end of the month, life's good. Not enough cash flow, life can be tough. So I love cash flow, and I've been searching over the last 3.5 years. And I'm talking about, let's pretend it's March 2024, the previous 3.5 years. I had actually joined 5 cash flow projects in the crypto DeFi blockchain space. And unfortunately, I had lost money on all 5. I made money in like 1, I think maybe 2. But overall, I made a lot more money than I lost, but I lost quite a bit, and that hurt. And I'll tell you in a few moments why I lost that money. But the bottom line is I'm sitting there going, gosh, I got a good portfolio. I'm a hodler, but because I'm a cash flow guy, I want my crypto earning more crypto on itself. Why? Very simple. I subscribe to the Warren Buffett theory. He said many years ago, if you're not making money while you sleep, you're going to work till you die. I believe in that wholeheartedly. So I'm racking my brain, and it took me a full day, but thankfully it hit me between the eyes. 24 hours later, I'm like, oh my God, I lost touch with my buddy Ed Barsano. I'll bet somewhere along the line in the last 3-4 years, he has developed a trader for crypto. I still had his number in my iPhone, thankfully. I dialed him up. We spoke for 3 hours, and he confirmed my hunch. He said, Attila, yeah, I mean, I launched a crypto version. I started from ground zero, and I built it, and I launched it in April of 2021. And I said, that's great news. And he said, listen, it's light years ahead of the stock trader. And I said, why? Why do you say that? Now, folks, this is where the rubber meets the road. So please listen carefully. He said, Attila, you know, to make money in any kind of trading, you need lots of volatility. There's no asset class on planet Earth with more volatility than crypto. And I agreed. I know that. Number 2, he said, stocks trade 5 days a week, 6 hours a day. Crypto's 24/7, 365. Big advantage, truly. And I agreed again. But number 3 and number 4 really got me. He said, until I made it web-based, it's not downloadable software anymore. Frankly, I wasn't 100% sure what that meant. So I said, what do you mean by that? He said, well, if you buy the license from me right now, I can have you trading live and connected to your Coinbase in under 10 minutes. I said, get out of town. That's definitely much different than 13 years ago. So I did. I pulled the trigger. I said, giddy up, let's go. I bought the license on the spot. And in 8.5, 9 minutes, I was connected live to my Coinbase, trading live. Now, folks, that was a world of difference to me. And I saw that as a big, big deal. Easy. I mean, you don't have to know anything about anything to get this thing going live. Number 4, to me and to all of you, should be the most important thing. And here's why. He said, Attila, I connected an API connection. This connects to your own Coinbase or your own Kraken account, which means that you and only you control your crypto. And I said, oh my gosh, that is the holy grail. Because you remember a few minutes ago, I said I lost all that money in 5 different projects. Why did I lose that money? I sent it to an external wallet or a third-party company wallet or exchange. I wasn't controlling my own crypto. That's a biggie. So the trader just sends the buy and sell signals to your own Coinbase or Kraken account. Your money stays in the exchange. The trader does not hold your money at all. Okay, so that blew me away. So I said, Ed, we got to bring this to the world. So that's why we're here. Now, I do want everybody, I mentioned a few minutes ago, I'm going to ask you to keep 2 more things at the forefront of your mind. Number 1, you're going to hear this. You're going to get sick and tired of us saying this. Set it and forget it. When we say that this is set it and forget it, please, please, please take that literally. There's no interaction needed by you after the setup and you're live, which will take you under 10 minutes. This is not copy trading, literally 0 screen time needed. If you go out of the country and you have no internet, no computer, nothing, it's still working on Mr. Barsano's servers. Literally, you don't have to do a darn thing after you go live. Now, the second thing I'm going to ask everybody to keep up here in the forefront of your mind is just imagine and think about what this man has created here. This has never, ever been done. Like my business partner, Edward, said, this has never been seen before without anybody being an accredited investor, without anybody knowing anything about trading, without anybody knowing anything about crypto. You hardly have to know anything about computers. You could now automate a portion of your financial life and make money while you sleep. It's unbelievable. I mean, it's really, I mean, if I wasn't using this thing for the last 18 months and have a 12-year history prior to that with Mr. Barsano, I would have a hard time believing it. I told you I had a hard time believing it when my friend was introducing me to him. But it's as real as it gets, over 3 million lines of code. And this man's got 50 years of programming experience and 25 years of programming autonomous robotic traders, and now with AI in the crypto space. By the way, the stock trader is still available, but I mean, the crypto market's so much more volatile. I don't know why anybody would want to trade that. Maybe if you want
People
to
do.
trade silver all day long or something like that. Mr. Barsano has people that do that. But anyway, before I introduce Ed, I do want to ask Edward, do me a favor. You have a simulation account that you switched about 7 months ago that has some incredible results. Can you share that with everybody? Now, folks, again, his trader might not be the same as your results that you would get after 7 months, because you might use different coins. The market conditions may be different. Maybe your results would be 50% of what you're about to see. Maybe your results would be double. We don't know that, but take a look at this. Edward, do you mind sharing?
Indeed.
All right,
Let's see.
let's get it.
All right, give me a thumbs up when. Oh, looky here. That was unplanned. Can
Holy
everybody
cow.
see that?
That's perfect.
So it literally, it may not be a whole lot of money, but it sold a position of Pepe for $13. Guess how much I had to lift a finger to do that? None. And then you'll see it. Let's see down the bottom. Here is that trade, Pepe, right? At 12:24 today. I've not looked at my this trader since, but I'm going to give you just to highlight an overview. So these top four coins with Pepe, Ondo, and Bonk are in, as is everything that trades on Coinbase and Kraken, are in what I refer to as the $1 billion report. At the time, this was started. I started it March 25th of 2025. So it's been going for almost 7 months. It'll be on the 25th of this month. It'll be 7 months. So I started with 100,000, but don't look at the account value because it has been collecting inventory. If you look at the symbols, everything that's in parens after that are the individual lots that I own in this trader. Now, haven't mentioned it to now, and I'll mention it now. The platform has been designed and programmed specifically to never, not once, ever sell at a loss. The part of the money management system, and we'll get deeper into this when Mr. Barsano talks about the details of GoBabyTrade, is that it collects inventory as the market drops, collects, as he likes to say, stock the shelves of your virtual 7-Eleven, only to then catch the spikes, which if you think you can outthink 3 million lines of code, good luck. But every time it spikes, up or down, as I talked about, this eats volatility. So in your sleep, overnight, during the day, when you're not looking, flying from East Coast to West Coast, it's working for you. The market cannot move, and we'll talk about the parameters and the default settings. It cannot move generally 3% up or down without either buying another position for you or selling at a profit. Now, I call it micro trading. Some people call it scalping. It is literally autonomous and 100% hands off. Don't pay attention to it, other than you may want to occasionally look at it, see how much money it's made. So in that little bit over 6 months time, autonomously, without me touching anything, it's generated $45,583.85 without touching it. Now, if that's not exciting in 6 months, say it's 6 months, say it's a little bit over 6 months, you double that and you're looking at a 90% plus return on your money. And in this period of time, not what I mentioned earlier, that it, since the platform was released in April of 2021, the market's been down better than 90%. I can't even get my hands wide enough to cover it, but literally has made and you'll see an example that it is made multiples on your money in a very large down market. Why? Because of the money management aspect. Yes, the AI features in the system are great, and which you'll know a lot more about when Mr. Barsano has an opportunity to speak. But it hasn't even deployed all of my money yet, and we'll touch on that because somebody had a question on that in the chat. But if I said to you, is 100% on your money, or 50%, or 60, or 80% on your money okay? The answer should be yes, because I don't know where you could make anywhere near that. 30%, 40%. It doesn't exist, except for 25 years of or 50 years of experience and 25 years of refining a machine that literally is the ATM of you.
Hey, Edward.
There's a whole. Yes, sir.
Did you cover the fact that the trader doesn't know that if it gets the same results?
Did not. So this is in simulation mode, has been since I have set this particular trader up. I've got other live traders of my own, but this simulation and this tweaking was to prove a point to myself based on the additional tools that I call the $1 billion report, and many, many other tools that allowed me to not even have to do the homework of which coins do I pick, right? We get common questions. How much money do I need to put in to make money? What coins do I choose? All of that's going to be addressed tonight, but not to prove anybody right or wrong. I just wanted to see how the machine would work over time. And it did. Bonk, Ondo, Pepe, and Whiff were in the top 10 of the highest volatile trading, successful, profitable trades in the $1 billion report. That'll make a lot of sense when you actually see it. But
could you repeat that one more time, Edward, please? Could you just repeat that one more time slower for everybody to catch everything that you're saying there so they understand something that comes up later in this presentation?
Yes.
Thank you.
Matter of fact, I don't normally do this, but let me just go to the high trade account report. This is the $1 billion report. So it's issued on a monthly basis. Mm-hmm. This records all profitable, and those are all the trades because it does not sell at a loss. All of the trades in the highest volatile coins in it, and it by default looks at the average of the previous year's close. Swift, SPA, I'll use as examples. Last year, 1,239 profitable trades, 1,233 profitable trades. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Barsano. Is this in the last 12 months or is it by calendar year?
No, it's trailing 12 months.
Okay. All right. Cool. Then trailing 12 months. And then it gives you the lowest month, the average per month, what they are. We'll go into a lot more detail, and it'll tell you by month for the last 8 months what the trade counts were. To Simon's ask for recall and restate, this takes all of the fun out, or not fun, all the confusion out of the market. It puts you in a position where the tools within the system do all the work for you, or at least 99.9% of the work. And even if you care to know if they're a meme coin, a utility, or whatever, an NFT, those are highlighted. If you each one that looks like a hyperlink, it is a hyperlink. It'll take you right. If you care what Swift does, you can click on it and you can go look at it. But it's no longer closing your eyes and throwing a dart. You are now 99%, I'll say 100% better than a fully trained for years crypto or stock trader, because you don't have to do anything. In the background, all the systems that are connected to this platform do all the work for you. I don't know how much more on a silver platter anybody could ever want about it. Now you know why I'm so excited about it, amongst all the other things I shared with you. But the system never sells at a loss. It collects inventory. It allows you to do your own research, as Mr. Heveshi will touch on a couple of times. DYOR, do your own research. We will give you those links, which are directly in the discount link will allow you to look at all of these reports and help you. If it makes sense to automate part of your financial life, great. We're not here to sell it to you. We're not here to not sell it to you. But it's kind of hard not to fall off your chair and want to potentially invest in a platform that makes it boring to make money. Boring to make money. With that, let me go back to, I think I covered everything, at least on the surface of the trader. I'll take you back here for a second. I'll turn it back over to Mr. Heveshy. But again, set it and forget it. That's a decent income. So if you continue to add to your positions and just let it keep going, we call this, and you'll hear us refer to this a couple of times, this is a life trader. If I said to you, take all this off the screen, I said, hey, I have a system to where if you give me $1, I'll give you 3 in 3 years. How many dollars would you give me? Simon, how many dollars would you give me?
Every dollar I got.
All of them. That is his bull.
I apologize. Some of that money would have went to an IBC policy, but nonetheless, I would get every dollar I could to use as fast as possible.
And you can't boil it down any more than that. If we were in a situation where the market's been up 90% in the last 3.5 years, that wouldn't have nearly the impact as what I just said. If you follow the crypto market, if you don't follow it, then go look it up. Look at how far prices dropped. This literally still makes you money. It removes as much risk as possible, other than the world may come to an end. But other than that, it's the ATM of you.
All right. Thank you, Edward, for sharing that. Great stuff. All right. Now, folks, I'd like to introduce you to Ed Barsano, the creator of GoBabyTrade. And Ed, as per usual, I know you have your insights, but just make sure you cover for everybody, the differences between, we hear a lot of this stuff about AI bought this, AI bought that. And, it's just, in my opinion, it's not even in the same galaxy as this, because this has the full money management system in there, but definitely cover that. You know what to cover.
Should I be nice to him, or should I? What do
Yeah,
you think?
it's our first one in a while, so be nice. Yeah.
I vote the opposite. Get it out of the way.
There you go. Get it off the table.
Rip the Band-Aid off and let's continue.
So I see, Mr. Barsano, you've been recording copious notes on your iPad 101.
On my Apple 101 device here. Yes.
Man. How long does it take to charge that thing?
Well, first off, thank you for inviting me to speak to your audience. Thank
you for being here.
The Staple crew, is it? Yeah.
Yes, and the Simon Says crypto crew. That's a tongue twister, but
yeah. Well, we just put it all under the crew. We just say the crew.
Crew.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really a biker gang.
No, a gang would incite terrorist organizations and violence. We are enthusiasts. Yeah.
Well, I thank you for letting me speak with your audience. There's a few things. Boy, there's a lot of stuff you were saying that, I mean, I couldn't keep that many notes. Stuff I wanted to talk about. Right off the beginning, you mentioned, besides the fact that you've been saying I've been programming for 50 years, it makes me sound like I'm 100 years old. I have been programming for 51 years, but it still makes it sound like I'm so old.
We should just say half a century.
Oh yeah, that's better.
That's worse.
That's awful. That's even worse. Some people try to play the age card with me when I'm talking to, when I'm doing support. Somebody will say, well, I'm 71 years old. And I'm like, hey, man, we would have been in high school partying together. What are you talking about? You're old. What? Can't play the age card with me. You're as old as you feel, I guess. I feel like I'm 19. Anyways, you did say it's all a scam out there. All that stuff out there is a scam. And, I rethought that while you were talking, and a lot of times I feel that way. And I think it's the way they present their stuff that makes it a scam, is because they don't know what they don't know. And they're creating stuff, and they're only creating something based on what they do know. And they think they you know, that, you know, they're experimenting, and then they're expecting you to use your real money on their experiment. And to me, that's what makes it a scam, you know. And anyone trying to guarantee you returns, I saw a few of the chat messages out there, and mentioning how much am I going to make this month and stuff like that. Attila touched on that. Hey, that's up to the market. The harder the market wants to hit me, the harder I'm going to hit back. When I say me, I mean the trader. It's going to say, fine, you want to go down, I'll go down there with you. But now I own stock, I own crypto down there. Now what are you going to do, market? Because you can't wiggle without giving me money. So you want to keep going lower, I'll buy more at a lower price. The software is doing money management so that it ensures you have money all the way down. And that's going to be one of the biggest criticisms that I get when you sign up right away, is you're going to say, how come all my money's not in play right now? I want all my money working for me. It is working for you. It's just not going all in. You're not going to buy a bunch of coins. If you buy it all up here and then the coin drops 70%, and you're sitting up here, that's like having a drawer full of silver dollars and the coin drops. You know, I watched silver go from $20 to $11. I've been trading silver for 25 years, and a lot of people have, just on the wiggles, just constantly taking money. But we watched it go from $20 all the way down to like $11. And if you're sitting in silver in your drawer, well, you're missed thousands of trades, and you're not even going to break even until it goes all the way back up there. If you bought it at 20 and then it goes down to 11. So, you know, the name, you got to do proper money management, and you know, that's what the software does. So when you talk about a scam, I just don't think that they know what they haven't been doing it for a lifetime. I've been doing it for 25 years, you know. And you know, for some, this might be a new audience, they don't know me. I retired from Microsoft in '95 with millions of dollars. And then I was in all the tech stocks. I didn't know anything about the market, but I was in all the tech stocks, and they were all going straight up. Some of you older folks might remember that, when the market was going straight up in the 90s. But then in 2000, the market crashed and 60% of my wealth vaporized. And that's when I said, my exact words were, you picked on the wrong guy, baby. I'm going to hurt you for that. I don't know who you is, but I'm going to hurt you for going for what you did to us, because that was a ripoff. That was a big scam. And we weren't doing proper money management. We weren't doing anything. We were just sitting in all those coins or all those stocks, right? So that's when I set out to automate the market. And really, the people helped me. That's why, you know, when, you know, it was downloadable software and I was automating anything they wanted, because I didn't know what they wanted and I didn't know much about the market anyways. I was going to automate the market and I knew how to do money management, but I was going to give the clients everything they wanted. I was going to automate it for them. And so they were all amazed. It's like, oh my God, I could ask for what I'm doing manually and he'll automate it. Wow, isn't that great? Well, it turned out we had 10, by the time I was done, I had 10 screens of things you could do. And Attila, I don't know if you said it, but I call it 10 screens of ways to blow yourself up. And believe me, they were blowing themselves up all over the place. I'm like, oh my God, they're gambling is all they're doing. This is just chaos, what's going on here. And then on top of that, it was downloadable software, because I didn't have racks of servers like I do now. So when I wrote the software, and I always had AI in my software, the artificial intelligence, neural networks, pattern recognition. I always had that in the software, and it was all built into the trader. So it was all just... It was, when you downloaded that software, it took an hour to download the software onto your computer for starters. And then once it was downloaded, you couldn't even check your email. That software was just sucking up all the computing resources. I was getting email from people. It's like, I can't even, you know, this program's too big. You know, so I sold that company years later, and I rewrote the software in 2000 to be web-based, so that I have the servers. I have racks of servers. All the auto traders run on the servers. And what's so cool then is It doesn't matter how the actual auto trader itself isn't as big as the resources from all the programs that I have that are feeding the auto trader. So your auto trader has one job: find money and give it to me. Take profits, stalk that market like the ever ready bunny rabbit. You know, it's just running. I might get sued for that. I don't know. I just stole their trademark. But it's like the ever, it's just running, man, at 1,000,000 miles an hour and just looking for money. And it doesn't let the market breathe without giving us money. It's like we're the tax man. You attach yourself to a coin, and that coin can't move now. It can never go up like 3% without giving you money. And if it goes lower, fine, I'll ratchet down. You know what a ratchet's like. You ratchet lower, and now I got it down, stuck down here. I'll buy more at a lower price. Some people say I'm the opposite of Hillary Clinton. She says when they go high, or when they go low, we go high. I go baloney. When they go low, I go low. I'll go as low as you want to go, because as low as you keep going lower, now you can't even wiggle it a little without me taking money. So I've got them trapped for the rest of my life. If they and I've got all this inventory that I bought up here at higher prices, which is gold. Some people don't realize that. Some people say, "Oh, well, I'm sitting in these positions for 6 months." Who cares? I'm sitting in same positions that I bought 4 years ago, and the price has come down, and I'm still sitting in the inventory. But it's okay, because every time that coin tries to breathe, every time it tries to, and how many times when you have a big move, coin jumps up 20%, I got all this inventory I sell off at one time for all that profit. The example I use there is if you had a 7-Eleven and you only had one bag of potato chips on the shelf, and a school bus full of kids pulls in, you're only going to sell one bag of potato chips. But if you got 20 bags of potato chips on the shelf, you're going to sell a lot more inventory. It's all about turning inventory. That's all it's about. It's not about buying something and praying that it's going to go straight up. When most people buy a coin, and you can think of yourself, when you jump in manually and buy something, what are you doing? You're thinking in your mind, it's going to go up. It's going to go up. The auto trader's thinking, that coin's going to drop 90%. Man, as soon as it buys it, it says, all right, it's going to crash on me. And that's okay, because the lower it goes, the more I'm going to torture the market. Because for the rest of my life, for the rest of your life, they can never wiggle that stock again. You're like the tax man. It's like every time they try to go up a little, you say, give me money, give me money. If you picture a toll booth, most toll booths, well, all toll booths, they just sit out on the highway and they wait for the cars to come, and then you pay your $1.50 or whatever, and then that's it. Unless you're in Florida and you got that toll road, I don't know what you call it. The turnpike, you got a lot of toll booths. But if GoBabyTrade was the toll booth, they pay, and then they start to go with the car, and then the toll booth chases them and jumps in front of them again. And if they try to, and makes them pay again, and then the toll booth runs ahead and jumps in front of them again. And if they try to go backwards, we start stacking toll booths behind them. Now they can't go forward again without paying. We just always have the market trapped for the rest of our life. It's a money machine it's a life trader.
Ed, since you're on Life Trader, can you explain a seasoned auto trader? Because some people are in this just 2, 3, 4 weeks, and they don't understand what a seasoned trader means.
A well-seasoned auto trader, a trader that's been running. See, that's the thing. A lot of people think to themselves, well, I'm going to wait for the market to take off before I jump in. I'm going to wait for an up market. You could be waiting 4 years if you're waiting for that, because we haven't even seen an up market in the last 4 years. So, you're going to be waiting forever, and you're going to be missing thousands of trades while the coins are low. It doesn't matter where they're at. But if you're waiting for the market to actually take off, like we've been on this 4-year downtrend, if you're waiting for the uptrend to start, then you won't even have any inventory to sell. So you're going to jump in after it starts moving up, and you don't have any inventory. And I'm not a salesman, as Attila. None of us are salesmen. We're just talking common sense. None of us know how to do sales. I'm a programmer. I don't know how to do anything. I can barely change a light bulb. My wife holds the ladder it's just right there, man, the light. Come on, man. But she holds the ladder like I'm on top of a roof or something. It's like I'm in the bedroom changing a light bulb. You don't have to hold the ladder. It's funny.
Relatable.
But
It's very
but
relatable.
anyways, so what I'm saying is, what were we talking about now? I always lose.
About a seasoned,
We're talking about
seasoned
the
trader.
All right, a
seasoned trader.
well-seasoned auto trader. It takes time for the auto trader to build inventory. You want to get in, especially you're missing unbelievable down days. You could be building inventory like crazy. The Trump family trust is sitting on $7 billion worth of crypto. Do you think they bought it all at the bottom? They were buying it the whole time for the last few years while it was going lower. And the thing is, they're just accumulating and accumulating and accumulating. And man, and he's going to turn that 7 billion into 70 billion, you watch. And so, you want to have a lot of inventory. Don't let the market ever breathe. If the coin tries to jump up 10%, I want to have 3 lots to sell off that I bought on the way down. And what's cool though is while it's going down, you're accumulating inventory. So when it starts to go back up, you're selling off the inventory you bought prior, but then it wiggles while it's going higher. So while it's going up in a bull, say a bull market or a bull rally for a day or two, it keeps pulling back like that. And each time it pulls back, your trader buys more again. So you're double dipping because not only are you selling the inventory that you bought on the way down, but now you're adding to winners. The software adds to winners and losers. So while it's going higher, we're adding more inventory and then selling it off while it's going higher. We're hopscotching on the way up. I mean, all this stuff. Did I even make this stuff up? I mean, I don't know. I programmed it all from just watching the market for 25 years. That's the thing is, and getting the feedback. Some of you, you have already had an auto trader, you throw feedback at me, you say, hey, what about this? And why not do that? And, and a lot of stuff that even gets brought up is already on my to-do list, but there's a lot to do. You can't do everything. And you notice you're not going to see in this trader, I'm going to bring up the trader in a minute, by the way. You're not going to see in this trader a lot of bells and whistles, drop-down menus and all this kind of stuff. This isn't a gambling system. The old system had those 10 screens of things, chaos that you could do. And believe me, all you're going to do is destroy yourself doing all that stuff. Because what you're doing is chasing the market. Market has some down days, you get discouraged, you start saying, oh, change the strategy, change the symbols. It's like, stop, you don't need to do anything. The software's already got you covered. Just relax, because if you buy a coin up here, say here, and then the price drops down to here, you can't sell that one that you bought up there profitably because the price
That's
is
right. That would be a loss.
It would be a loss, and we never take a loss.
Mhm.
So you just got to relax. I mean, sometimes somebody will send me email. They'll just sign up, and the auto trader jumps in and buys a coin, and then the same day or the next day the coin is lower, and they'll send me email and say, how come my auto trader's not making profits? And I'm like, there's no profits to make. There's literally, if there's no profits to make, don't worry about it, because you got the market trapped. I used to say it for years about Microsoft. Before we had Zoom, I used to present to live audiences all over the country, plus Australia. I went there one time, presented to an audience around 2012. A few times in Canada, but mostly all over the US, all the different states, the Midwest, West, East, North, South, everywhere, all throughout. Every week I was in front of a different audience, and I never knew what I was going to walk into. There could be 30 people, there could be 300 people. And throw any questions, whatever. And I used to say, back when Microsoft was 30 bucks a share, I'd say, do you guys think Microsoft's ever going to go out of business in the near future? And everybody would say no. I'm like, trade the hell out of it, man. It's free money. At 30 bucks a share, what are you worried about? It's just numbers going up and down. You're overthinking this stuff. And that's the thing. Most people are overthinking it. And you know, that's where they get killed, is they're thinking too hard and they're trying to force things. You know, I actually had one person say, I want you to give me a strategy that'll make a stock go up, make a stock go higher. I know, Simon, you laughed. I think I did too at first. You know, but I don't, you know, I kind of, I know a lot of people, I don't want to put people down for stuff because I can't change a light bulb on a car. You know, I remember standing there on my Range Rover once and the light was out and I stood there and I watched that guy put that light in there and I'm thinking, he just charged me like $175 for 2 minutes worth of work. I'm like, but yet I looked at it and there was no way I was going to be able to do it. You know, so I get it. Everybody has different skills. And, you know, for me, the programming was my forte. Thank you, U.S. Navy. That's where I started programming. But you know, because I've been doing it so long, I could see everything. I could see all the stuff that worked and what doesn't work. And the clients were sharing with me, and I could see the traders that what was working, what wasn't working. Get rid of the stuff that's not working, and let's zoom in on what is working. And what it turns out, what is working is the pattern recognition, which is way cool. That I call that a widget. I mean, I've been doing AI since 1989. And to me, it's a nice add-on to the auto trader. It's not the holy grail. It's not what do I call it, Edward?
Star of the dish.
A star used to say that. You remember, you know, the cooking shows, they open up the baskets and they say this meal has to be cooked with these ingredients. The AI is not the star of the dish. The trader is the star of the dish. What it does with the AI, though, is the AI is like two-factor authentication. It's got its numbers. It's constantly throwing out numbers, but we're not looking at them. Only when the software goes higher and I mean, when the price goes higher, if the software sees profit, then, and it's getting ready to take that profit because it bought it here and the price went up and it wants to sell it, it says, hey, I've made 3% or 5% profit. I want to take that profit. It'll call the AI and say, what do you think, AI? Do you think it's going to go higher in the next few minutes? And AI can come back and say, yeah, I'm 98% sure it's going to go higher. So the software says, oh, well, we'll hold off on taking that profit right now. We'll let it go higher. And then we'll keep calling the AI until the AI says, I don't see it going higher. Then the software will take the profit. Same way on the downside. When the price goes lower and the software says it's time to buy more based on proper money management, it's time to add more to that coin. Let's buy more. It'll call another AI and say, do you think it's going to go lower? That AI comes back and says, no, I don't see it going lower. Okay, then we'll just buy it right there. And another thing that's really great, though, about the cryptos versus stocks. Do you mind if I share my screen here for a minute?
Yeah.
You've been barred from sharing anymore.
I've been barred.
Barsanoed, that is. You've been Barsanoed.
But I wanted to show you, let me hide this big bar up at the top of my screen. Hide floating point.
Don't forget to tell the story of how you were in front of a crowd.
So, guys, I know that you guys are watching this. I want you to just kind of pay attention if he shows you that well, because that's what he's talking about.
I'll do that next.
Yeah.
But the stock market, what I've learned, I mean, I'm telling you, when I turned on the crypto trader in 2021, after 21 years of just doing stocks, as soon as I turned on that crypto trader, I mean, I remember exactly, I was looking at the screen and I'm like, holy Toledo, oh my God, I'm done with stocks, man. I mean, stock prices move around like this. They just like waves. Crypto prices move, they jump around. Look at this. They jump up and they jump down. Look at all these straight lines up and down. This is gold to an auto trader, man. I mean, when a coin jumps up like this, anything you own below it, below that price, it just sells off profitably. I have people sometimes they'll call me and they'll say, Ed, I want to stop my auto trader from buying more because the prices are going so low. That's what we're seeing today, by the way. A lot of people are seeing the prices crashing. You think, oh man, if this crypto market, these price moves were in the stock market, they would be all over CNBC or MSNBC. They'd be talking about it's a major crash. This is major crash territory for the stock market. For the crypto market, it's routine. I love it. I mean, this auto trader, after all those years of doing development for the stock market, it turned out the crypto market was groomed for this auto trader. I mean, look at this. I mean, when you buy something down here and the price goes straight up, that's just pure, just easy, the easiest money you could ever ask for. And the auto trader just sells off anything. So when people tell me I'm going to stop my auto trader from buying because the market's going so low, and I'm like, no, the biggest money you're going to make is what you bought at the bottom. That's what you want to buy. You can't, man, you can't own enough shares, especially in this market right now. I say you can't own enough shares, man. I laugh. I mean, I woke up this morning, turned on my auto trader. I took a quick look here. I saw these numbers here, down 10%, down 7%. I mean, I saw another one. Wasn't one of these down 15% earlier? I don't even know. It's a joke to me. It's like, fine, you want to go down there, I'll go down there with you. But now what are you going to do, market? Are you never, now you're stuck down there. What can you do? I mean, I got them by the you-know-whats. I've just literally got them trapped. But here's the premise of the trader. If you understand the trader, if you understand this, then you'll realize it's money for life. Okay? It's literally, you will realize that it is money for life. So I was presenting about a year and a half ago to this audience. I was actually teaching an AI class in, I think, Raleigh, North Carolina. 80 programmers sitting in this room. Pretty smart guys, too. I think there was one woman. I don't know why that is. You know, why there was only one woman. But anyways, it was, I mean, so anyways, and I said, I saw a whiteboard, and I'm like a magnet when, you know, a lot of you are the same way. When you see a whiteboard, you got to go up and start doing stuff, right? You know, I can't let this whiteboard go left alone. So I just thought, I'm curious to see where their heads are at. I'm just curious. These people are going to create I'm teaching them how to program AI, but I want to just see where their head. I just want to see what they say about this. So I drew a picture of this bucket in a well, and I said, if the bucket goes all the way down and gets the water, and then goes all the way back up and dumps it out, and then goes down and repeats that and goes all the way down and gets the water and goes all the way back up and dumps it out. It can't go halfway down and then go up. It'll have an empty bucket when it goes back up. It's got to go all the way to the bottom, all the way back to the top, and dump it out. I said, how much water can it pump out? I said, this isn't a trick question, because you know, a lot of people, they were starting to, feeling like I was giving them a trick question. I'm like, it's not a trick question. It's just a simple question. How much water will it pump in a lifetime? And of course, they're engineers. They started coming up with, well, how big's the bucket and how much water's in the water basin and all that. I said, hey, unlimited water and the bucket's amply big. It's going to pump forever. How much water can it pump? And then people started throwing numbers out, which I thought was way cool. 1 million gallons, 1 billion gallons, 1 trillion gallons. I heard all that. Nobody questioned it. And I'm like, oh, cool, nice. I said, well, how about if it's the crypto market and it doesn't have to go all the way down and it doesn't have to go all the way up? All it's got to do is wiggle forever, wiggle. So let's take a look and see what this looks like. It buys and then it goes up and it sells. And it buys and it sells. And it just keeps doing this forever. It's just free money for life. Hold on to that loser up there that you call a loser. I don't call it a loser, but it's underwater right now. But the action is down here. Wherever the action is, that's where we're going. So it doesn't even matter that I'm holding on to a couple of these losers. I'm going to keep pumping money forever. How much money can it pump in a lifetime? That's when I heard the whole room went silent. And I'm just waiting. I said, how much, come on, guys, how much money can it pump in a lifetime? And then if it jumps up like that, it's going to sell all that inventory you were holding because it jumped all the way. You got a 20% jump up and it sold all the inventory that you were holding off, profitable also. So I said, how much money can it pump? And then finally one guy spoke up and he goes, there's no way that could be real. I love it. I love it. It was just vintage, man. I just thought it was it's like, how do you, now this is the thing, and this is where you hear the things where you hear people say, if it sounds too good to be true, then it is. You gotta lose that stuff. These crazy cliches that we've been hearing our whole life, they're just wrong. They're wrong. Just because this, I know this sounds too good to be true, but it is true. That's reality. It's just numbers going up and down. As long, and remember this, mathematically, for some of you mathematicians out there, the worst that can happen on any coin is that it goes straight down, because if it keeps wiggling, you're just going to keep taking a lot of money. But if it just goes straight down and the coin goes out of business, all right, that's minus 100%. Go ahead, do your formula. Minus 100%. But as long as that coin stays in business, it's going to keep pumping. It could pump 10,000% in profits. You're like the tax man. You didn't even have to build the toll booth. You just literally, each coin, you just put multiple toll booths out. The car can't even drive to its garage without when the garage door opens, there's a toll booth in there waiting saying, pay me. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm ruthless. It almost sounds illegal. And I do feel, even though I've been doing this so long, it just feels like, man, are they really going to let me keep releasing this to the public? And I've been doing it 25 years. So, it's like, it's just free money for life. I don't know what to say. It blows my mind. But I know I'm not violating any laws. I didn't invent commerce. I didn't invent this stuff. I mean, everybody knows if you're running a grocery store, you buy something at one price and you sell it at a higher price. That's how all of commerce works. I didn't invent that. And all I did is we're doing the same exact thing. I'm running a 7-Eleven without the bricks and mortar. I don't have to have a building. I don't have to stock shelves. I don't have to hire employees. And they're just each symbol. I just treat I think of each symbol as if it's a product, like vapes or Monster drinks or potato chips. It's just once you attach to it, for the rest of your life, it's going to keep pumping money. And don't worry about how the only manipulation that the whales or all the people, whoever's driving these prices lower, and they're doing it on purpose. I can tell you what they're doing, and I've been watching it for years. We saw them do it in the 2000 market crash. We saw them do it in the 2008 market crash when they pushed the bank stocks down to $1. And then they rocketed those prices up to 50. What happened when they pushed the bank stocks down to $1? Millions of people dumped their bank stocks, which is mind-boggling. Did you really think Bank of America was going to go out of business? And then they rocketed those prices up to 50, and they made a fortune, and they left all the little people, the regular people who don't know what they're looking at, they left them out in the cold, Go back to your jobs, as Edward would say. Job, just over broke.
Yep.
Isn't that what you called it?
That's
but
it.
I made another note here, market manipulation, and that's the thing. There's a lot of that going on. Like, why is the market going lower and lower and lower? Well, think about it. In March 8th, I believe it was March 8th, they did a crypto summit at the White House. Okay? And that's where 25 multi-millionaire crypto people were in the room with Trump. And they actually said it, the exact words were, we are going to remove all regulations holding this crypto market down. Okay? As soon as they said that, that's good news for the crypto market. How come for the next, 7 months, 8 months, the market's gone straight down? Why? What's causing that? Why are we going straight down instead of up? I know. Do you think that all the members on the House and the Senate, see, they don't even have time to do a decent vote to open up the government. They don't have time to be looking at the government right now. Forget the government. They just have they're too busy buying more crypto. They're loading up like crazy at these ridiculous prices because they already know there's nothing wrong with the crypto market. These coins should be going to the moon. These little 1 cent coins should be going for $20 a share. They are loading up. They are doing what the Hunt brothers, some of you older folks again might remember when the Hunt brothers tried to corner the silver market. Only they couldn't do it. There's too much silver out there, I think. But they are actually doing it with the crypto market. They're actually being successful. Because when they push the prices down, people are sitting on crypto. Most people are just sitting on a bundle of crypto. And when the price drops on that coin 70, 80, 90%, what do you think they're doing? Their family and their friends are telling them, get out, you're being made a fool of. Get rid of that, sell that, you're going to lose everything. And how many people got talked out of sitting on their Bitcoin 10 years ago? How about some people that were sitting on 50 Bitcoin or 100 Bitcoin and they dumped it all at real low prices before it rocketed to over $100,000 a coin? How many people got talked out of it when it was going down? Because it never went straight up. It did crazy moves. I mean, it even went from 60,000 to 30 last year. I think in February last year, it went to 30. And how many people dumped it at 30 and lost everything? And then it went back up. And then it went even from 60 all the way to 120. So it's working, actually. I'm watching it because I get the feedback from people. I see the emails that they send us support. And so many people say, my coins are going lower. I'm worried and all that. And I'm like, these are, if you look at the companies you're trading, I mean, these coins are real companies. That's another thing. People have this delusion of they think that these companies aren't real. I mean, if we go to let's look at the highest trade count report, the $1 million report. How do you pick one?
The $1 billion report.
He calls it, all right. First you used to call it $1 million report, then you saw the value of it.
Until I saw the value.
Well, before I even look at it, let's see. Can you see this?
Mm-hmm.
You see this report? Somebody sent this to me.
Oh, you're kidding.
All right. All right, here's what happens. I used to talk about the 7-Eleven. I said, I never opened a 7-Eleven, but I'm thinking, but logically, if I was to buy a 7-Eleven or open a new 7-Eleven, and I'm a brand new person, a new owner of a 7-Eleven, doesn't it seem logical that I would have the building and the parking and all the regulations and the lighting and the shelves and the refrigerators and you got all your employees, the stockers, the cashier, you got all that, but at some point you're going to sit down with a distributor, right? Because I don't think I'm going to go to Big Gulp number 13 here and whoever makes that and deal with that company directly. I think I'm going to deal with the distributor that's going to deal with all this stuff, and they're going to bring it all. And then I was only guessing, I was speculating. I never saw this report. I didn't even know the report really existed. But I said, logically, it seems like you'd be sitting down with the distributor. I used to always say this, all the way up to last week. You guys heard me say it. That logically you're going to sit down with the distributor and he's going to tell you the biggest moving items. What do you want? What products do I want to sell? Your coffee, all sizes, are at the top of the report, the biggest movers. Your monster drinks, remember I used to say monster drinks? Red Bull, bottled water, Gatorade, Slurpees, Coke, Pepsi. Where is vapes? Vapes, I would have thought vapes would be up here. But I used to say vapes would be up there. I don't know. There's your potato chips all the way down here on line 19. So somebody sent me this report a couple of days ago. He said, Ed, everything you're saying about this report, it really exists. And he sent this to me. And I said, so if I'm really trading if I'm going to open a 7-Eleven, I want to fill my shelves up and the refrigerators with the biggest moving stuff. I don't want the slow-moving junk at the bottom, the Band-Aids and the iodine. Nobody's buying that stuff. So, all the way down on line 856, You know, so interesting. You know, it's just junk. I want to trade fast moving items. So let's go back to the report. This was my wife's computer. I bought it for her birthday once last year, or June, I think. Yeah, well, I know her birthday. It was July. And she said it was too heavy, this laptop. I'm like, yeah, but honey, this is an i9 processor. This thing flies, but it's but it's heavy. So I took it. I bought her a new one. I bought her a lightweight one, a lighter one. Anyways, so here's the $1 billion report. We generated this report last year, and every month it comes out. This came out on October 1st, and it shows the symbols, the coins that move the most, like previous year's closed trades, 1,239 trades. That's closed profitable trades. We don't ever sell at a loss. So those are 1,239 profitable trades. Now, we know it's at least 3% moves, but a coin can jump 30% or 50% up. So we're just counting trades. We're not looking at money. The money would be, I mean, really good if you're getting that many trades. SPA's number 2. Number 1 and number 2. These two coins have been flying. They've been at number 1 and 2 for 6 months, I think. These two, number 1 and number 2, they've been just battling it out for the top spot. They take turns switching. But if you go down, you notice 1,239, 1,174 trades. Let's go down and look at the junk at the bottom. Do I really want a coin that's going to give me 16 trades in a year? 17 trades in a year? 2 trades in a year? Well, you can't trade USDG. And that's the euro dollar. I'm not sure about those two at the bottom. But, you know, but here, 2 trades, 5 trades. I don't want to trade that stuff. I don't want to fill my shelves up with that junk. Okay? So, or even this one here, 246 trades in a year. I mean, a lot of people have been accumulating. Their idea of dollar cost averaging, or for the last few years, they've been every month they just keep throwing more money into these coins, and they're not good for trading. They don't wiggle enough, you know. And I want to trade stuff. I want to trade. If I'm running a 7-Eleven, I want to trade stuff that turns inventory, and I'm not worried about, you know. I don't worry about, do I like the product? See, people overthink that. That's another big one. I mean, if I go back to that other report, I saw other things on there that I don't like. Lots of products in a 7-Eleven I would not buy. I don't like them. I wouldn't buy them. But if I own a 7-Eleven, I will sell them because millions of other people do like those products. So I'm not worried about what the company does. But some people say, well, I want to at least, first off, you can click on the coin, the symbol name, and it'll take you right to their website. So I made it easy there when I generated the report. So you can actually go to the website of each company and see what they do. What do they produce? You know, what is that product that they produce? You know, and then utility. Utility says it's a real company with a real product. They really make profits. As opposed to meme coins, which are just, I don't know. Simon, what's a meme coin?
Made up.
All right.
It's a joke. Yeah. It's a joke till it's not a joke no more. Go Shiba Inu. Shib.
Yeah, there you go. You're right. Some of them are not a joke anymore. Right. Sheep is a good example of that, you know. And
can you do me a favor? Since we're on the $1 billion report, there are just 2 or 3 quick questions regarding the $1 billion report. Let's attack those right now so that it makes sense to people that we're asking it. And I think it'll help everybody else too. So Marco is asking, hi, Ed, pleased to meet you. Is there a periodic period where you should reassess the coins the system selected for you, say every 6 months to a year?
Nope.
Okay.
Because there's value in a well-seasoned auto trader. When you first start, you're looking for the fast movers, the ones that are going to give me a lot of inventory, or the ones that are going to turn a lot of inventory. I mean, you can go all the way down here. I mean, even 763 trades in a year is a lot better than 15 trades in a year. Okay, so in the beginning, you want coins that move a lot, but then a well-seasoned auto trader, there's a lot of value in the fact that you own a lot of inventory.
Right.
You got that coin really trapped, you know, and I've cleaned up on these coins. ACH, Alchemy Pay, is a perfect example. If I go back to my trader, let's just go back and look at this trader. This trader here, Alchemy Pay, ACH, when I first started, let's just give you a little history. 4 years ago, I had to pick coins, but I didn't know anything about the crypto market. What did I know about the crypto market? I knew I automated it. I knew the money management was really what I needed. But which coin should I trade? At that time, the highest trade count report didn't exist. And it was only like 35 coins that Coinbase even offered that we could trade. So I went and researched them. I used to joke and say I did a deep research. I didn't do a deep research. I went and Googled those coins, you know, and to see what they do. And Alchemy Pay, ACH, I said, oh, well, that coin's like Apple Pay worldwide. And they were going for 12 cents a share. Now they're going for 1 cent. Okay? But they didn't just jump from 12 cents to 1 cent, by the way. I mean, they went all the way down to 2 cents and then went all the way back up to 6 cents and then came back down again multiple times. So even if I look at Alchemy Pay, if I go and look at history here, let's just look. I'm going to just go back to January 30, 26.
While you're looking for that, Doreen says the high trade count or the $1 billion report should be renamed the Wiggle Report.
I like that. I love it. It's all about the wiggles, folks, because it doesn't matter.
It's all about the wiggles. That's all the market is. That's
Yeah.
all I care about. I'm here to turn inventory. It doesn't mean
Yeah.
I don't smoke vapes, but if I'm running a 7-Eleven, I'm going to sell vapes. It is what it is, man. Millions of people buy them. You know, I'm here to turn inventory. But here on January 26th, ACH it went from 2.1 cents. You see that? And in a few days, 5 days, you could see all the buying and selling that it was doing. I mean, it was crazy. I mean, talk about free money. I mean, I took 2,200 on that one, 2,000 on that one, 1,700 there, 1,200 there. You know, and it was just free money. And over the next 5 days, it went all the way up to 5.6 cents. Here it is right here, 5.6 cents.
Wow.
And the beauty is, while it was going up, you see what we were doing? We were opening more.
Yep.
We were
New
opening
position.
more. There's an open, there's another open. While it was trending higher, we were actually adding to the winner, and then it goes higher, and we were selling that one off too. So we're just constantly we got the market coming and going. Even the exchange doesn't know what's going on. They just see orders coming at them because we don't touch your money. We don't touch your coins. That's all sitting in Coinbase and Kraken. We just shoot orders at them. Buy this, sell this, buy this, sell this. They don't even know what we're doing. They don't realize that every one of those sells is profit. I remember, Attila, you said, it was so funny a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
You said, you made all this profit. I think it was the other trader I had that took 900,000. I try not to show the real big accounts, you know, because it discourages people. People think they need too much money. But that one had 953,000 of profit. And I said, I didn't take that. And you're like, I mean, I threw him off. I threw Attila. I tricked Attila.
That's hard.
Because he said, what are you talking about? It says you took those total profits taken right there. And I said, well, I didn't take that. And you're like, what are you talking about? And we're on the air, right? And I said, I took $28. I took $40, you know, stuff like that. You know, I took $52. I took $114. all this added up to that $900,000.
That's why people need to understand this is a lifetime trader.
You're just
Okay?
going to
This
keep taking
it
profits
just it
forever.
just give it a shot. Let it get seasoned for you. Let it buy all those positions for you.
Don't worry about
You're
it.
gonna be fine. Just let it do its work.
Edward, what do I call the market?
An insult to
insult to
humanity.
humanity, right? Hey, Ed,
I
you
call
just
it.
got some. You just got
I
some.
like to see if he's actually listening to me sometimes.
Oh, we listen. Trust me. You say we listen. So you just got some feedback. So I think it's Alexandre, I believe. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing. Ed, I saw your big account on another video, and it actually gave me something to look forward to.
There you go.
And that account's down like $500,000, you know, over the last few months. And I'm like, hey, I'm not worried about it. You know, it went way up and then it pulled back some. And I'm like, hey, I'm okay with that. That's
Okay.
okay. I've got all that inventory and now I've got the market trapped. So Alchemy Pay, that's the reason I picked that one. Remember, Elon Musk used to say, you know, some of you might remember every time he came on TV, he'd say, you could buy a Tesla with your Dogecoin. And
Yeah.
then Dogecoin would jump up 30%. And I've always, the minute he said that, I said, well, I could buy a Tesla with any coin, you know, just sell the coin and buy the car, you know. But for some reason, when he used to say it, it would push the coin up 30%. So I added it. The graph is gold. The graph, they wrote APIs, that's application program interface. They wrote software for blockchain. When every time a trade occurs, their software is called to verify the source and the destination of where you're transferring the coin to. If I'm selling a coin, somebody's buying it on the other end. That coin, they have an address. You don't want it to get hijacked along the way and go somewhere else. Okay? Their APIs get 2 billion hits a day. 2 billion with a B. I write APIs, I don't get 2 billion hits a day. But they get 2 billion hits a day. And look what they're at, 5 cents? Give me a joke. What a joke.
I
I mean,
know.
that should be $50 a share.
Hey, Ed, do me a
I'm telling
favor.
you, the whales are loading up like crazy. And then, like Simon says, Shiba Inu. It's one of the most widely held coins out there. And just recently it added a zero. Because I started buying that coin when it was 6 zeros. Then it all the way went down to 4 zeros, and now it just pulled back. And I'm like, that's fine with me. Go low as you want. I'm fine. And then I added Swift because of the highest trade count report. It was the #1 coin on the report just
All right.
recently, not too long ago.
So since you're on here back again, let's go to where is that question on the
But you can see, while Attila's looking, you can see on the right-hand side of the report, you can see all the buys when there's no profits, and then those are opens, and then the closes are showing where there's profits. And you just keep, it's just like a 7-Eleven. You stock the shelves and then you sell it all off. And it's just repeated for the rest of your life. Literally for the rest of your life. And the only tools the whales or those, I mean, look at all that free money, man. I don't know what to say. It's a joke. But I'm trying to get that to go all the way up. What you have over here is your open positions up here. Your open positions column. This is your open inventory. Okay? That can only go, that literally goes, not only, it goes up and down with the price of a coin. And if I have a lot of inventory in a coin, when the coin price drops, it pushes, and I can't take enough profits off to compensate, you know, there's not enough wiggles, and it goes, say the coin drops 20% and I only took 10% in profits on the wiggles while it dropped 20%. That means the account value will drop 10%. Okay? So your account value goes down. Too many people look at the account value. If I could teach anybody anything right now, if you forget everything else I said, the one thing I would say is stop looking at your account value. it means nothing. Don't worry about it. In the long run, it means something later on. You're built right now. We're in the middle of a market, and you've all heard me for the last over a month. I'm saying we are going to see blood in the streets before this market takes off. We're going to see these coins drop hard to get the little guy out. Because if a big guy with billions of dollars wants to buy $1 million or $30 million worth of a coin, he's got to get a lot of little people out. He's got to get you to dump your shares. And he's actually successfully doing that. He's getting these people that have been sitting in these coins for 5 years, they're getting them to just dump those shares now. And they're selling them like crazy. And the whales are loading up at these insultingly low prices. Literally, I call them insultingly low. So the open positions can only go up and down as the price goes up and down, but the closed positions never goes down because we never sell at a loss. So this number just keeps going bigger and bigger and bigger. Like this 150,000 that I've already taken in profits, they can never take that back. I'm down 78,000 in open inventory, but they can never take this 150,000 back. I already took that. That's mine. That's cash that I took out of the market. And this one here, my open inventory is down 27,000, but I've already taken 62,000 in profits. They can never take those back. This number here, again, it just goes up and down. Do you see this right column here? Total, it's the difference between these two, the open and the closed.
Yep.
All these were all net positive a few months ago. Every one of them. These negatives right here are the result on the right hand side are the result of the last 3 months in the market, where the market's being pushed down ridiculously low. Because every day there's nothing but good news in the crypto market. So there's no reason. It's like today. There's no reason for these coins to be down like this. And what happened on the 10th?
Yeah.
Let's go look at that. That was a beautiful day.
Oh yeah. Everybody needs to see this. If you don't own the trader yet, pay attention here, because this was the biggest downtrend.
Even if you do own the trader, you should be paying attention to this, because this is very much different than what most of us in the crypto space are used to. We buy, we hold, we don't move. That is not this. What I talked about that's investing. I buy a thing, I hold on to it for 10, 20 years. Investing. Trading. I bought something for this price, boom, I sold it at a higher price. Let's do it again. Buy, sell, money. Buy, sell. I am trading. Boop, 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 boop. Totally different.
Well, you can look at right here. If we even look at this, let's go back here. Let's just pick one of these, any one of them. That's March. Let's go back. Let's look at a weekly chart here and just take a look here. I want to go back.
I got TradingView open on mine.
Well, I've got it right. I mean, if I just go back to the 10th.
Almost. Keep going.
The 19th. A little more.
You got a date menu bar at the bottom of that chart.
Yeah.
And it shows you the date.
I do. I always do things the hard way, you know.
That's all right.
I always do things the hard way. So here, October 10th. October 10th, this coin dropped 30% straight down. I love it. What a beautiful drop. Because, I mean, it just went straight down. And then we bought more at the bottom. And over the next few days, we took a 20% gain and then a few 5% gains. And we just made, it was just all free money. So we bought more down here and then sold it all off here. Now, what if that was the opposite? What if it would have gone up 30% on that day instead of down 30%? All that inventory you were sitting on, all those individual lots, that 30% jump would have sold all this off instantly for a beautiful profit. And we can see that actually, if I go back further here, you can see, let's see, I don't know how far, I mean, look at all this. This is a joke, you know. I mean, the market's just moving along and you're buying and selling, taking small amounts of money, but then when it jumps up like this, like right here, this little one here, anything below that, you sold off profitably. Then when it goes, look at these lines here. Buy here, buy down here, sell up there, buy down there, sell right there, buy down there, sell right there. Profit wise, you're way up on the top, man. You're way up here. You're in outer space. But I think it did another crazy, if I remember right, a few months ago, because I just started trading L3 in another trader, and it did some crazy jump. And right there, maybe that was it. On August 29th, I mean, all the inventory that I bought along the way down in here, that coin jumped up 50%. I love it because I dumped all that off. The software just dumped it all, man. It took all that profit. And then the same day, it came back down. So, I mean, it was like, so it started the day here, it ended the day here.
And you made a lot of money.
Is that 829? Yeah, 829. So it ended the day all the way down. Where at? Let's see, 829 right here. So it started the day here and it ended the day there, but we took all that profit. It was like, I always say, thanks for the free money.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an insult to humanity.
Hey, Ed,
once you get an auto trader, it's a life changer. You never look at the market the same again.
Ed, we got a lot of good information from you today, this evening, but we do have a ton of questions, so we really need to get into the Q&A and answer folks' concerns or questions or confusions.
Okay, let me turn my air down a little bit. It's getting a little hot in here.
Sure.
You just whip off your jacket and show us your crypto C on your chest, right?
Hey, Edward.
Yes.
Edward, you want to take advantage of this moment here and maybe post the support emails and also the discount link?
Indeed. So I mentioned the 6-star white glove service. Anybody that's had the opportunity,
for a few minutes in case you want to share anything.
Yep. Take a sip of smart water.
All right. What I usually what I talk about when I talk about in like MSNBC, you got those talking heads on there with their ties on and all, and they all look so intelligent. They never tell you anything that makes money. Never. They tell you, oh, the market crashed and here's why it crashed, or the market rallied and here's why it rallied. How about you tell me ahead of time any of this stuff? Where's the strategy? Do they have any strategy? So that's when sometimes I rip off my jacket and I say, I don't want to look like them, So I take off my sport coat there, or my suit coat, because we're not like that. The auto trader is fully automated. You turn it on and watch it grind out money forever, and don't get discouraged when things are going down. Down is good.
Down is good.
I mean, if you love anything, if you love something at 5 cents, you got to absolutely love it at 1 cent, especially if you got the market trapped down there.
Yep. So
when it tries to go back up, you're just going to sell everything off at a profit. We got them trapped.
So it's a particularly those that are hearing this message for the first time. It's very hard when I call it the matrix. Part of the background that I didn't give you was I spent 32 years inside the matrix, observing firsthand how it's programmed.
It's Keanu Reeves there. Don't you see that?
That's it. The matrix, right? Observing all the ways that they build systems and manage those systems to keep you just over broke, right? So part of what I bring to the table is I kind of know what's already coming. I've seen it. I know it. It's all manipulation. And those of you that break out, those of you that choose the red pill versus the blue pill are gonna win, because what you're going through now is a metamorphosis and being exposed to information that really the matrix does not want you to hear or see, because if you do and you take action, you're no longer in control, except for you get to control. So, little diatribe I just posted in the chat. Support at GoBabyTrade if you have any highly technical questions, or if you need a review of your trader, feel free to reach out to Mr. Barsano and his team. The second, which is supported financial intelligence for you, we are, Attila and I are, and to a certain extent, but we're also serving Simon. Simon says crypto and the crew, the staple crew, Till and I are here to serve them, to serve you in the fact that there's a lot of questions that a lot of people have. We're going to be doing this every 2 weeks, same time frame, right? I think the next one was just scheduled for the 17th, I believe. But you'll
Do you
you'll
have
get
any that
messages,
you
right?
can share? Do you have
Pardon
a screen you can share with all those links that you were just talking about?
Yeah, so they're in yes, as a matter of fact, I can. They're in the chat if you want to copy them, but let me show you. Bear with me. Um,
Well, you showed it in the
Here's
beginning, but it's
I
the
did. Nope, I got it. I got it. I got it. Bear with me. I'm working with one hand and
I
half a
know it's
brain.
easier for me if I
but
could
the
see
thing
the
is,
link.
Edward,
Oh, all right.
the
Now I know
problem
what
with
you're talking about.
the problem with this is I don't think people can copy and paste here from the
No, no,
chat.
no.
Yeah.
They can visualize it and then I will copy and paste it in. So that the supported GoBabyTrade, I just copied. Financial intelligence, I just copied. And the third that I didn't get to was this. This is a direct link to the frequently asked questions. There are tons, dozens and dozens and dozens. And when Mr. Barsano shares his screen again, we'll show you. And it's a dynamic AI driven, constantly evolving Q&A that you can type your questions into. In all likelihood, 90+% chance that someone's asked it before. And then I'll post this as well, which is the exclusive link. And then I'll post these other two, which is our community and our YouTube channel, which you will find the replays. And generally, they reach the YouTube channel before the system sends them out. Yep. So bear with me while I do that. I posted these. Let me
Yeah,
post
take your
this
time,
link.
Edward. Just take your time and post it. I'll get into the questions in the meantime, okay?
All right, good.
All right,
yeah,
so Ed Barsano, Susan has the first question. She typed it in first. So she says, how many total GoBabyTrader clients are there? What is the lowest annual return anyone has experienced?
Well, I don't sit and look at other people's accounts, so I really couldn't tell you what that is. We do have, if I can share again, if I
Yes.
could
Yep.
share my screen.
Good.
You know, what I do is, the thing is, everybody's doing different things. They're in different coins, and even though the trader is fully automated, a lot of people still have their ideas of how things should work, and they'll go in and change stuff, and and some will change things to the negative side. For instance, someone said, how come I have to keep adding money? And I'm like, well, that's because you changed the strategy. It was designed to do money management to cover you all the way down, or at least down to a 75% drop in the coin. But he changed it to a 40% drop. So it only covered him to a 40% drop in the coin, so that it used up his money within a 40% drop. And everybody knows in the last few months, the coins dropped 70%. So he ran out of money there because it put all of his money in there. So it's hard to say. You really can't measure how much money is somebody going to make in a time frame, in this little time frame, because a lot of it, as Attila said, is based on the market itself. So if I was to go, let's look at the highest trade count report. I can
When you get to the report, just freeze for a minute because I want to show people how you do your own research. Folks, remember a moment ago, Edward said about DYOR, do your own research? Well, when you click on the Staple Crew link, the discount link for the $1,000 discount, these links up top, you could click on this and get an unbelievable amount of information. You could get the highest trade count report. You could see the top traders, which Ed Barsano is about to show you now. You could go to videos. There's about 15 to 18 videos talking about various topics. You could see all of the FAQ questions being answered. That's on the right to the left of login. So
yeah,
this is where even before you pull the trigger, you could do an inordinate amount of research
yeah.
on your own. It's pretty cool.
So if I go to the top traders and I look at how they did over the last year, you can see like this one here at $3,000, and this is the important stuff. The ending account value used to be here. It's irrelevant because people throw money in when they see how good their trader's doing. They start throwing $100,000 more in there, and it throws, so the ending balance isn't what's important. What's important is this guy started with $3,000 1 year ago and took 15,000 in profits. That's what's important. 477% return. That tells you how the trader is doing. This one started with 1,300 and took 3,400 in profits. That's a 255% return. And you can scroll down, in all different account sizes. This one here had almost 150,000 in profits, 147, or not in profits, but his account value. And then he took 166,000 in profits, which is over 100% return. You don't get returns like this anywhere else. And it doesn't matter how much money you have in the accounts. The guy with $1 million is not getting more trades than a guy with $1,000. Okay? The guy with $1 million is making more, because if he makes 100%, he's made $1 million. If a guy with 1,000 makes 100%, he's made $1,000. Okay? But you got to look at it, keep it in perspective, because if you deposit money anywhere, it's going to be based on how much you deposit. So you can't think that a guy with 1,000 should make 100,000 or $1 million. You're asking for too much. Some of the websites out there, this is where the scams are, and I hear about it a lot because people call me, text me, and they tell me about it, about, oh, this other website said they'll give me 100% per month guaranteed. That's baloney. Now that's a scam. Nobody can give you 100% in a month guaranteed, because that's going to be up to the market. You might get 100% here because if the market happens to jump up, because the auto trader prepped you. That's where I say a well-seasoned auto trader has a lot of inventory, because if the market takes off, you're going to make a fortune because you're sitting in all those positions and you got the market trapped at the bottom. And you can click on view details and you can actually see what they're sitting in as far as what coins they're sitting in.
Yeah.
Now he must sold out, it looks like. He cashed out his 160s. There's reasons for that. He might have moved it somewhere else. But if you click on the next guy, he's only trading Bitcoin on 1% moves, 1% profit goals. Okay. So you can do that, and clean up. Bitcoin's been in a range from 120 to 100 to like 110, really, and even 106. It's in this tight range, and it's just going up and down within that range. And a lot of people don't want to sell it, so they're saying just add to winners and add to losers. But you've already done that. You've already added to the winner when it went higher, and you already added to the loser when it went lower. So you're already in the position. So it's moving around inside that window, and you're not making anything because it's not buying and it's not selling. Because they unchecked, if I go to the strategy, it's like they have this, like they'll put Bitcoin here and give it some money, 10%. And they'll uncheck the allow sell. See, this says add as price declines. That means when it's going lower, buy more. And Simon, I saw your videos, you explain this stuff in detail. Add as price goes higher, add it to advancers, and it can add in the middle of those, between the high and the low. It'll add to gaps. Fill in those gaps. That's the cool thing. That's what makes the software so cool, because once it fills in the gaps, there's no man's land in there. That means the coin can't move without giving you money. If you leave the gap and you got a big gap between the high and the low, the coin price could go in the middle of that and just keep going up and down. You're not making any money until it goes up here.
And you're referencing percentage, right? The percentage gain, right? That 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%, 5%, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And then, but a lot of people will uncheck the allow sell on Bitcoin, and they just want to accumulate. Another one is XRP. That's another one I see people doing this with. They'll uncheck they'll say, I want to add, but I don't want to sell. I just want to accumulate. And again, the price is going up and down, and you're adding at first, but as long as the coin stays inside that, once you've already bought it at various prices, it's not going to buy it again at the same price. It wants to reserve that money for when things go lower. And this is where Suzanne, was it?
Susan, yeah.
Asked that question about how much this and how much that. People do things that violate the auto trader. They'll say, well, my auto trader the market's been going down these last few weeks and it's not really, it's not going up. It's not wiggling enough. It's not taking enough profits in their mind. If they do the math, they might be on pace to do 80% this year in profits, but they're not doing the math. And they're thinking, well, they see $14 here, $12 there, $5 there, and they don't realize when you add it up, that's 80% return. They're just thinking, well, I'm not really making enough money. The coin's not really going up enough. So then they'll want to do things like they'll say, uncheck the buy on these coins, and stop trading those, and let me put in more coins down here. I don't like that because you've already tied up money on these coins.
Yeah.
So you don't really want to, like Attila said, quit changing stuff and quit changing your coins. Really,
yeah, let me
there's
say,
no reason to
let
it.
me say we got like 25 more questions and Susan's got a follow-up. But real quick,
That's all right. I got 2 bottles of water.
yeah, that's a 2 hour show. I mean, 2 bottle show. I've been at this with Ed now. I've known him 13 years, and I've seen a lot of people make a lot of boo-boos by messing with the settings, number one, and number two, by trying to replace coins after 3, 4, 5, 6 months and change them out. Do yourself a favor. Pick the coins you like in the beginning, stick with them, and stay away from that settings page.
Yeah,
I mean,
because if
unless,
the market's going down, the market's going down. This
yeah,
is a buy time. This isn't a sell time. This isn't a time to throw in the towel. This is a time to say, hey, man, you dropped that coin down that much. I want to buy more at that price.
I'm just speaking from experience, Okay, so her follow-up question, and I could answer part of this, and then Ed, you put in your 2 cents, but how does the trader handle coins or tokens that go to zero, those that will go down and never go back up? Let me just speak to that for a minute. I know that the exchanges, Kraken and Coinbase, their reputation is on the line. So they are becoming stricter and stricter and stricter, and they have higher standards now before they list a coin. Because if they have to delist a coin, it doesn't mean that company or that coin went out of business. It's just something happened that caused that delisting. But they don't want to go there. Now, has it happened? Yes, it's happened very seldom, but it has happened. So Ed, how would the trader handle that? Now,
Well,
one thing that you said to me early on, which made a ton of sense to me, is, Susan, what if a coin goes out of business, but the trader's been trading it already for 2 years, and you've got
then you've already taken a bucket of money.
yeah, you've taken a boatload of money, a heck of a lot more than are in positions currently. You're way ahead of the game. What about that scenario? That's a possible scenario. So Ed, I'll leave the rest up to you.
All right. There's some coins they'll merge with another company and they'll change the symbol.
Right.
And then they'll actually give instructions for how to do that conversion.
Like FET.
Yeah.
Fetch.ai
FET
merged
and
with 3 other.
PRQ was another one.
Right.
They're very few and far between. I haven't had any of my coins disappear. And they're just trade forever.
Hey Ed, a good comment by Marco. He says, "Hey Ed, you need to be a tough dad and stop giving people the options to change these settings."
No, I don't want to do that. I feel like
God gave God.
I don't want to do it because I feel like it's easy to make changes, but I know the software intimately. I know that if I'm making any change, I know how it affects the trader. And I don't think some people will make changes. There's only one screen of settings here. And sometimes I'll see people just changing numbers. Let's change that one to 5. Let's change this one, to something like
Don't do
something
it.
crazy like 10. and they just start changing numbers all the way down to the bottom, and I'm like, why are you making all these random changes? It's like you just bought a new car, and the first thing you did is you pop that hood, and you got the screwdriver, and you're gonna turn the screws on the carburetor. It's like, why would you do that? There's nothing wrong with the carburetor. Why are you doing it? I don't know if young people know what a carburetor is nowadays. Maybe I don't. Do they still have carburetors? I don't know.
They do only on the good cars.
Oh, there you go.
So, Mr. Barsano,
Fuel injection, right? It's all fuel injection. So I don't know if there's carburetors,
Hey,
but I remember.
so Mr. Barsano, do you swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth? So help you God.
No.
All right. So I'm going to assume that was a yes.
Of course.
He was lying if his answer is yes.
So
no,
is it?
No, I never lie. I could stand, like I said, I could live.
Sorry.
I could in front of any audience. Any question that's asked, I've already heard 100 times.
So is it fair to say, if I made the statement that you have optimized over the last 25 years, you have optimized the system to where it benefits over the long term, benefits the user of the trader the most with the default settings? Is that a true statement, sir?
Yes.
You are under oath.
Of course,
That's well said, well asked, well answered.
No, you shouldn't really have to change anything, really seriously. The settings are already set, and
Hey, Ed,
if you're going to change something, how about sending us email and say, hey, I'm thinking of changing this setting.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
And then I'm going to ask you why. I'm going to say, and I've done it before. I remember, walking down the street, and I get a phone call, and I talk to a client, and he says, I want to change, my, I want to add on, I'm going to change the setting to add on, instead of 3% drops, I want to add on 1%. I say, why do you want to do that? He says, well, I want to make more money. Isn't 100% a year enough? Well, yeah, if I was getting 100%, well, all right, then why are you changing anything? See, because they're changing it in the hopes that somehow that's going to change the market. The market doesn't care what you think. The market is a random beast. It's random. You don't know what it's going to do day by day. Tomorrow, the whole market. I watched Shiba Inu go up 66% one day, and the very next day I watched it go up another 100%. Last year, it did. I think that was around January or February. So, I mean, I've watched these coins just, you saw ACH in 5 days. It went from 2.2 cents to 5.6 cents. You never know when that's going to happen. And it could happen right after the coin's been dropping. And it's trying to get everybody out. And then all of a sudden it pops way up. And you're already out. And that's happened to a lot of people. I imagine you could imagine that happening. You're selling out of everything, and then the coin dropped. I mean, I bought my first townhouse was right across the street from Microsoft. I bought it for $40,000. 3 months later, it went to $80,000, and then I sold it and bought a house. But the person I bought it from at $40,000, they were in that house for 5 years. That condo, that townhouse, they were in it for 5 years, and it never moved in price. I feel bad for them. Because they bought it for like 40,000, and they sold it 5 years later for 40,000, and 3 months later it jumped to 80.
Hey, Ed.
It happens, so that's why I say never sell at a loss.
Ed, we got literally over 23 more questions, so we got to move on. Let me grab the next.
Another hour.
Let me grab the next one, and then Edward, you could get Cody's question. So Daryl is asking, on Coinbase, any benefit to using USDC versus USD? Yes. This is my consensus, and I'm sure Simon will agree with me. There are inherent benefits to staying in crypto. Once you're in crypto, try to stay in crypto. Why should you go back to fiat money? So I suggest, USDC is the better choice in our humble opinion. Now, Kraken, you don't have a choice. Kraken is only USD. They don't have the option of USDC. Plus, in Coinbase, a little over 4% is paid on USDC. Okay. And the other question Daryl has, Daryl says, by the way, Daryl says, thank you, gentlemen. My wife, Debbie, and I love it so far. Just need to build more capital. You will. But Daryl, Coinbase One offers you the following. The trader automatically trades on Coinbase Advanced, where they have much lower fees to begin with. And never sweat the fees, guys. Never sweat the fees in the crypto space. This is a
What was
space
Simon going to say?
this has the ability to make us uber wealthy. You don't want to sweat the fees, okay? But when you have Coinbase One, you get a quarter percentage point rebate on those Coinbase Advanced fees. So there are benefits to that. And if you use Coinbase to buy and sell other coins, you'll save a lot of money on that too. So great question, Daryl, and thank you for owning the trader.
I have a second question as part of the interruption in
Yeah.
regards to the USD USDC.
Yep.
This is for Ed. So on Coinbase specifically, I've used other traders in the past where if you had USDC there, they would automatically stake it so you could earn rewards, right? Your 4%. And because you did that, it was inaccessible, unusable to the trader on a trade. Is that the case here as well? No? Okay, perfect. Because
No.
I know I have some other individuals on the channel that would ask that. I said, hey, look, I'm only going from my past experiences. I know we're going to have a Q&A. So the theory then, okay, would be if you did USDC, while your money's sitting there waiting for a trade to happen, right? Lot number
You got all that
25 could,
inventory, all that
right?
cash.
Right, all that cash while it's waiting for it to get some more inventory, right? That USDC could be earning you 4%, but if we had a price drop of 75%, it would be able to use that USDC that was earning that 4% over at Coinbase, correct? Okay.
Well, if it depends how fast things move, but yeah, it
Right.
doesn't
I mean, just
all
in
go
theory.
in
In
right
theory,
away.
I'm being super extreme here, right? Because on the trader that I used previously, that was an issue to where Coinbase didn't let us know that it was staking. We put stablecoin in
If you're
there,
staking,
yeah,
anything
right.
staked, the auto trader can't see.
right.
You would have to go out of your way to stake something, I believe. I think they automatically stake.
Would they would do it when it was automatically, but now there is a difference. Like there's earning and there's staking, right? There's two different things that the Coinbase within that platform have differentiated. So on the 4% earnings, that is available to be used by the trader. It sounds like so that's good.
Everybody.
If we
Everybody can do
stake, no go. Right, the trader cannot access those funds.
Correct. It makes them invisible.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Now, now invisible. Let's touch on that too, since I got the microphone for a minute. If it is staking, can the trader still see it as account value? No.
No.
Perfect. This is great. That's great news from a guy that deep dives that stuff. Awesome. So thank you very much for that. I appreciate that info.
Cool.
Sure.
Also on the fees, somebody mentioned the fees. You guys,
I was just going to go there.
were you going to go there? I thought I would bring this up. If
Okay.
you
Yeah.
click on the plus next to any of these symbols, it actually expands the window.
Yep.
And it
Do that a lot.
tells you the actual price that it knows it's going to buy more at. Like it's saying if the price goes to 0.009744, it wants to buy more, but the current price is 0.11. Well, no, the current price is up here, 10910, 1 cent, 10937. It's got to drop 3% to buy that. See, it's got to go from where it's at right now down to this price here. And that's on the downside. And if it's adding to advancers, then it's saying it's got to go up to a nickel. Because that means I've already got coins at higher prices. So it's got to go all the way up to a nickel before it'll add to an advancer. And also what it does is, another thing that's important is, we're adding on 3% drops, right? We know that. But you notice we're already down 4.9% on this one lot. So why isn't it buying more? Because the software is adding the fee that the broker is going to charge
That's
to the
right.
trade.
Right.
So
That's
it's
right.
saying it's actually gonna it's so that's why I don't worry about fees at all, because the software is gonna add the fee to the profit goal. See this right now, this when you sell the coin, it's actually telling us ahead of time. Also on the I'm trying to go up there again. It's actually got a target profit goal. It's actually telling you ahead of time where it's gonna sell it. You bought this entry price, it shows entry up here. It bought it at 11485, and if it goes to 11916, it keeps popping off. Right here, the target profit goal. It's got to go to 11916, so that's up. Once it goes up to 11916, it'll sell it profitably. So this is not a black box. The software already knows it won the minute it bought the coin. It already knows what it's going to add to, whether it's going down or higher. It already knows where it's going to sell it when what you just bought. It already knows where the profit is, and it's just sitting back waiting for the market to go there.
Hey,
Nothing
Ed,
you
you mind if
you have no control. Pardon
you
me?
mind if I jump in and sound semi-smart?
Jump in, please.
All right.
Need another drink anyway.
When it says
This
target
is
profit,
vodka, you know.
when it says target profit goal, that is where it thinks it's going to sell. But that actually is a trigger point to call the AI to go, hey, what do you think?
Right. Right. These are all target prices, only the AI is a critical thing that's just running, like I said, like two-factor authentication. It's just running out there on 4 different servers of its own. See, it
Yep.
can't, it's too big to run inside the auto trader. And it's throwing out numbers every second. It's literally throwing out numbers on every coin saying, is it, if you were going to buy it right now, do I think it's going to go higher or do I think it's going to go lower? And the AI is constantly throwing those numbers out.
Yep. And even though you don't call AI the star of the dish, it's not the star of the trader and money management itself, but it's still its own star of its own dish because you didn't explain, but I'll mention it because I'll sound semi-smart again because you've talked about it before. It is handled, all the AI is handled in a different system that's constantly analyzing all 27 indicators by itself outside the trader, waiting to communicate that information to the trader to capture the lowest buy and the highest sell.
Right. And this is level 2 screen here. I just want to show you this. I'm going to throw it out there. This is where the market's manipulation. And see, we call it manipulation sometime, but really it's professional traders sitting in trading houses that have an advantage over the guy that's not looking. Simple as that. Some other people have better advantages. I sat in a day trading house one time, and back in 2000, all the way back in 2001, and really I was just getting their data because I needed data and I didn't have a high-speed internet at my house, so I needed to steal their data. I hate to put it that way, but that is reality. So I plugged in my laptop, and I was getting the data feed, so I could play it back later while I'm programming. And while I was in there, I bought some Microsoft. And I'm a very vocal person. I just said out loud to a whole room full of traders, I said, how do I know when to sell this Microsoft I just bought? I just threw it out there to see what they would say. And one guy walked up to me and he said, it's easy. You see that guy's price right there? Sell it right under him. I said, no way. That's your limit orders, folks. When you throw limit orders in public view at the exchange or at the stockbroker, at the broker, if you're doing stocks, that's this level 2 screen that we're looking at here that I just brought up. And let me show you the manipulation. You see this fake number here, that 349.4 down here? That's your best ask price. That's your lowest. This is this right here, 17001000. That's the best ask price, which means the lowest ask price. And down on the other side, you have, let me move that out of my way. You have your best bid price, which is your highest bid price. Okay? So if you're buying on the ask, and if you're selling on the bid down below. And you notice how low those numbers are. The volume is so low. Like if I actually wanted to sell, I'm thinking, well, I'm going to sell 10, say 50,000 shares of this coin, Dogecoin. Well, I'm not going to get that price because that's only 792 shares. I'm not going to get this one here. That's only 14,000 shares. I'm not going to get that 30,000. I'm actually going to get, because there's not enough volume here, and the price I'm going to get is going to be all the way down here. Okay? And then the same thing on the ask, if I'm actually buying, I'm not going to buy it at this price here because there's not enough shares. If I wanted 50,000 shares, if you add these up, there's 349, 3,000, 9,400, 2,200, another 20,000. Then what do we got here? That's 30. You still got to go up more. You're going to end up paying all the way up here. So so the software actually adds these numbers up. We do something, nobody does this stuff. I don't think there's another trader out there, automated bot, that does this, that even looks at this stuff. But I saw what the market is doing. I saw the manipulation over the years, how they're cheating the public. And that's why a lot of times someone will ask me, I'll hear someone will say, well, the price was right here. And I'm like, yeah, but you're only looking at one price on a level 2 screen. That's not real. That number's not real. You're not really going to get, you think you're going to get that price. Well, you're not. If you were buying, you're not going to sell it at that price. We got to move on, buddy.
We got to move on.
All right. I'm just saying there's a lot of manipulation going on that the software is dealing with for you, that you don't even know it is happening.
Just let him finish. He's loving on his baby. So, all right, Cody.
I love this. I love this system because it's only keeps getting. One thing nice about programming, let me say something about programming. Unlike you sitting down, where's my pad, with a bunch of trading rules. Did any of you actually write down rules to say when I'm going to execute, if I'm going to trade, if I'm going to buy or sell, I've got all these rules I want to follow. I want to make sure all these rules are working. Simon, you know what I'm talking about. You have all these rules.
Yep. All the rules are like, okay, if I buy a coin at this price, I'm going to sell at this price. Even if my house burns down, rule number 1, what if the house burns down? We're still going to sell that price. Okay, what if the car breaks down and then you need money and that's the only asset you have? We're still going to sell that price. I'm not going to follow those rules. If my house is on fire, I'm going to need some money. I'm going to sell, right?
But that's the thing. People violate the rules. And sometimes, and it's not as extreme as science.
I know, I'm just trying to drive a nail in the coffin.
But usually, there's so many rules that you can't follow them manually. You go crazy, man. You're sitting in front of screens all day. I mean, these trades are occurring at what time are these trades occurring here? This is, well, I think I'm out of bed by 1:21. 11:19.
In the wee hours of the morning. Right, just before the bar closes. Just before the bar closes.
Here's 4:59 in the morning. You're not trading. You're not up and doing this. But a lot of times you're violating rules. But when you're talking about software, it never violates a rule. It won't give in for a penny, man. This is where I get excited because I know I got the market trapped. And even for a penny, the software won't give in, and it will follow every one of those rules to the fraction of a cent. It's like,
because it has no emotion.
Baby, you got to pay me. There's no more free ride for the wealthy. This poor trader's evil.
The system removes all emotion.
Look at this. Attila probably had to go to the bathroom. We've been on here so long.
Well, that's it. Yeah, yours is a 2-bottle, 2-water bottle. His is a 2p roll. Sorry, I said that out loud, and unfortunately, it's recorded. All right, Cody, here. This will make your head spin there, Ed. What specific type of machine learning model does the system use? Is it a neural network, decision tree, random forest, never heard of that,
Never heard of that
reinforced
one.
learning agent, or something else?
Well, you know, the neural networks, it's obviously a neural network. That's what AI is. Word systems, Google word systems for that matter. You know, I was using word systems a lot of years ago. I don't know if they're even still in business, but you train, each robotic trader is feeding data every minute. I've got all 27 indicators, stochastics, MACD, relative strength index, all that.
Right.
I put it in the AI. I figured let the AI deal with pattern recognition on
Perfect.
those. I'm not going to sit
Perfect.
here and babysit. I'm not going to
Right.
sit in front of 6 charts waiting for everything to be pointing up. Let the AI handle that. It does it brilliantly. And so each robotic trader, thousands of robotic traders, somebody asked me how many traders there are. There are thousands. I mean, I've been doing this for 25 years and, you know, 4 years for the crypto market, and I've got thousands of crypto traders. But each trader, each literally each executable, each user, each client has its own executable running, and it's writing data to files, not the
Mm-hmm.
database. It's writing physical files to a physical
Mm-hmm.
file for each symbol, all the indicators. It's looking at the ecosystem. What
Mm-hmm.
is the market look like in this instant in time? It's
Mm-hmm.
just writing that data. So it's getting thousands, tens of thousands of data written to files every single day. Okay. Then periodically, I'll push a button and say, build the neural network, train on that data. Okay. Train more, add. So now look at all that data plus all the data it had for 25 years, train on all that. And so it can tell me with phenomenal accuracy, it could say, I've seen this pattern 50,000 times. And when that pattern looks like this, the market is going to go, the coin price is going to go higher in the next 20 to 30 minutes. It can't
Mm-hmm.
tell me what a coin is going to do tomorrow. There's no indicator in the world that'll tell you that. If you had that indicator, an indicator that actually told you what a coin was going to do tomorrow, you'd be the richest person on the planet. So if you have that one, let me know. We'll be richer than Warren Buffett, Bill Gates,
Right.
and Elon Musk all combined. We'd be the richest person on this planet if we knew what a coin was going to do tomorrow. But we're pretty accurate in what it's going to do in the next 20 minutes, 20 or
Yep.
30 minutes.
So, all right,
That's basically what it is.
Cody's got a follow-up question. Cody, you're making my brain hurt. Another question. What features does the trader use to make trading decisions? Price action, volume, order book depth, sentiment analysis, on-chain metrics.
Price, and price, price, and price. Just like that dumb commercial. It looks at price. That's it.
Yep.
You saw it right here.
Buy low, sell high.
Yeah. And not
Or
even
just
buy
buy.
low, sell high.
Yeah, not
Just
even
buy
buy
and
low.
sell
I bought
higher.
now. I need to wait for a higher price. That's it.
Done.
So,
Yeah.
Jason, you're welcome.
When you take away all the other stuff, price, action, volume, all that kind of stuff, it's like, forget it. You know, if I want to buy a loaf of bread, I go to the store and I buy the bread. What did they sell it at? They're not looking at all that stuff you just described. They just
Right.
said, they bought the bread at one price, they're going to sell it at a higher price. They're not worried about anything else. It's turn inventory. Just keep taking money. It's like throwing marbles in a jar. That profit will add up. It will add up forever. And there's
Mm-hmm.
nothing anybody can do to stop us. It
So,
almost sounds illegal, but if you had a jar and throw marble in it every day, now in the first few days, even 14 days, it doesn't look like a lot of marbles. Just keep throwing that marble in that jar. And
Mm-hmm.
before long, it's going to be spilling out the top. And
Yep.
and that's reality. You're just gonna keep taking profits till you die.
yep.
Mm-hmm.
Two
But you
comments and then
do
the
this
next question.
manually. It doesn't work if you try to do it. I tried to do it manually years ago. There's no way. You'd go bananas trying to sit there and do that. Because all these numbers here, by the way, they change. You know, this is that's the price right at this instant in time, but AI gets involved and it starts changing the numbers on you. Um, like you see right here, it says added to declining position, and it has the letter AI after it. That tells me AI got involved in that trade, and it said, hold on, don't buy more yet right now. It's going to go lower. The one right above it, it didn't do that. And, and if I want, and if I can just going to scroll through, yeah, right, there was one right there. Same thing with the profit goal. It can say profit goal reached, and it'll take the profit, or AI can say, hold on, don't take that profit. The price is going to go higher. And the AI is phenomenally accurate.
Cool. 2 comments, and then the next question. Marco says, I'm making an espresso. You're not losing me. So thanks for hanging in there. So Jason says, thank you for all the time and information. That's where we started. That was the message that I came out of the gate with. We're here to not necessarily to educate you, but expose you to information that you've likely never seen before or heard of. So much appreciated. So Michael says, Ed, to your point, how does the timing of beginning trading affect your returns? For example, if I begin when the market is entering a bear market, won't the monthly return amount continue to be less as the value of my 3 assets decline in price? Would it be better to begin once the asset finds a bottom? Okay.
No, you don't know where a bottom is. There's no such thing.
That's going to say
you're trying to predict stuff. You are trying in your mind. This is what I'm saying. When people buy a coin, in their mind, they're thinking, all right, now's the right time. Somehow they looked at a whole bunch of things and they said, this coin's going to go higher. It's like, we don't play that game. We just say, it doesn't even matter, based on money management, just get in and don't worry about it.
Yeah,
and
let me rephrase the question. When's a good time to get into the market using this trader? There's
right.
one word.
You can't.
Now.
You are already behind the 8 ball here. Right. You are already late. I'm going to tell you that. I'm not a salesman, but I sound like one. I hate to say it, but you see those 22 lots that I own right there? If I click on the plus, let's just look at them. There's one. That's one lot. If I scroll down further, there's another one that it bought before that one. Now, it might have had multiple buys and sells between these, but this is where it's at right now. I'm sitting on those 2. If I keep scrolling down, there's 22 of them. See all those? All those are ACH. And if you hover over the ACH, it shows you the date. That one was bought on July 21st. I'm not even worried about any of this stuff. And you can see I have 22 lots there. Each time it buys, I call it one lot. 20 lots there.
Whoa, look at the 34.
Yeah, I love it. I got another one that's got 41 lots. I'm like, thank you.
How'd you get the 34? How'd you get the 34? I'm sorry. I'm cutting in. I'm going off the rails.
If you're adding on 3% drops.
Yep.
And then, why is there 34 and not
25?
3 times 34 would put you at over 100, right?
Right.
So it's just the way the numbers work out. It's just you're adding, you're selling, but we're adding to winners also. So sometimes you're adding to a winner. If you were just adding on the decliners, it would be you could not get to 34 because that would be a 100% drop. But we're also adding to winners and taking advantage of those when they go higher, and then you're adding more than 3% drops.
Okay.
So you're adding much higher, and so that's how. But you can't own enough inventory, in my opinion. And the example I use there is, like I said about Donald Trump. I've been watching the whales. There's actually a website out there that used to show us how much money. Like, I watched $100 million get plowed into Shiba Inu in one day, in $10 million tranches by some wealthy guy. $10 million tranches in one day. $100 million went into SHIB at a much higher price. That's what excites me about all this. The whales, the wealthy, have been plowing money into the crypto market and in these coins at much higher prices. all the way down. So they got in up here, and the price is now all the way down here. They're doing what we're doing. The difference is we're selling it as it wiggles around. They're not doing that. They're just sitting on it because they don't have an auto trader. So that's how Trump is sitting on $7 billion worth of crypto. He didn't just buy it at the bottom. He's been buying it all along, all the way down, because he knows there's nothing wrong with the crypto market. There's nothing but good news every day. And they'll use news like, all right, the market is shut down, or what, the economy, what's going on right now? The government is shut down, right? And they're just they look for any reason to drive these prices lower. I mean, this is gold here. A 10% drop in one day. Thank you. I'll buy it 10% lower. Thanks. Thanks a lot. Thanks for the free money. Because I know it's just going to sell. Otherwise, there's no crypto market. Otherwise, none of you should even sign up if you really believe there is no crypto market and everything's going to zero right now. Then that means all these coins are just going to go out of business tomorrow. If you really believe that, then you probably shouldn't even do it. You shouldn't even be in the crypto market.
All right, Ed.
But we know that's not true. We know these are multi-million-dollar companies. These are, I mean, literally, I mean, it's just crazy. I wish I was as big as they are.
Hey, Ed, Nancy had a question. She says, I edited my strategy to 3% profit goal. My trader was defaulted at 5%. Did you change that recently?
Yeah, the new sign-up should be, what happens is, over the years,
Almost.
everybody wants, or I should say most people want to do what I'm doing in my strategy.
Right.
So for years, we were trading at 2% moves. Remember, from October of 21, when the crypto winter started, the market started crashing down 90%.
Well, when I bought the trader 18, 19 months ago, it was at 2%.
Right. The profit goal was 2%. The coins weren't moving very much.
Right.
And then in October last year, a few days before the election, I noticed the market was I noticed these numbers, that today's move was really picking up. And I said, you know what? I'm changing my strategy to 3% profit goal, from 2% to 3%. And I know a lot of people want to do what I'm doing, so I sent email to everyone and I said, hey, by the way, I'm changing my profit goal from 2% to 3%. Okay. Now recently, I'm looking at numbers like this every day. I'm like, this is crazy, man. I'm raising my profit goal from 3% to 5% because we're getting crazy moves. And there's another reason. I feel like they push these coins down so low. I'm not giving away my shares at no 3%. I'm punishing the market for that. You want to go down there now, and I got you trapped sitting at the bottom? I got them literally trapped down there? I'm not giving away my money. I'm not giving away my coins for no 3%. I want 5% at least. So I raised it to 5%. When I do those, when I change them, then the default trader, when you first sign up, I changed that also to be the default. So the default in here would be 5%.
Okay.
So that's what it is.
Good answer. Okay, Edward, you want to grab the next one, or you want to meet?
Alex says, with the SWIFT token, that's SWFTC, it had 1,239 trades in the last 12 months. If you look under the column 29 of 25, it shows 22 trades for the month of September. Aren't we missing opportunities opposed to a token that's having a lot more transactions?
Ooh!
Well, they're not. You can't.
Ooh, can I answer that? Can I answer that, please?
Go
Can I
for
answer
it,
that,
Simon.
please? No is the answer. No, we're not. We're not, just because the thing here is this is history. What is on your screen right now is things that have happened. We have no idea what November, in our case right now, right, is going to hold for us. We have no idea. Zero.
And what do you do
So,
with your old inventory? You can't just throw
right.
it away at a loss
No,
in
that's
the other
true.
coins.
Yeah, yeah. All right, but go ahead, go ahead. That's one of my
Well,
favorite
there's
questions to
value.
ask.
The value is in this. The value is in
Right.
the well-seasoned auto trader. I've already got all this inventory. I've already got the market trapped on these coins for the rest of my life. I'm not going to sell them I'm not going to just dump my inventory. And then it's random because where are we at here? It's random. You notice these two are still at the top just because they had a few slow months. All the coins had a few slow months.
No, yeah, let me piggyback on that. Those numbers that you're looking at, right? We talked earlier about market manipulation. So let me give you my 2 cents at why the market's been behaving the way that it has is because, as Ed said, the whales are pushing all of the little guys out. All the people that don't have this trader. Think about 2 buckets. People that don't have the trader and people that do have the trader. If you do have the trader, you don't worry about it because it literally is taking profits on as somebody suggested, the $1 billion report should be called the Wiggles report, right? It should be. It should be. So
I'm writing that down.
So what's happening in the market is that let me step away from the trader for a second. What I've observed is that prior to to this year, before we got a change in administration, and it went from way anti anybody that owned crypto was a thief, right, to a positive pro crypto administration. Which, by the way, if you haven't noticed in the last 8 months, what has happened? The banks hated crypto. Why? Because you were going and taking all of your money out that you had given them for free for them to turn around and give it back to you on a credit card at 39%. Catch something might be a little squirrely in that. They were thinking that all you were doing is taking your money out. Then there was a pro crypto administration, right? There's an application for a 39% credit card. So then we have a positive shift, a giant shift, a 180 shift to a positive crypto administration, decentralized finance administration. Then what happened? Ed said, I think it was February. I think you said March, but February they had this big crypto council, crypto summit, which was then shortly after that was the Genius Act was passed. Which what did the Genius Act do? It opened the doors to the banks.
Right.
Let me rephrase that. It opened the door to institutional trading, which meant the banks eventually, where we are now, the banks can play in this space. So here's what's happening. The institutions are putting, I was going to say billions, putting trillions into this marketplace and forcing you to run as fast as the uninformed, the people without the trader, run as fast as you can away from crypto. Let's dump everything. Let's just take our licks. Let's write it off, or whatever your thought process is. But here's what happens. Institutional, right? You talk about, if you're a market follower, you talk about all these ETFs. Where did the ETF come from? Why did they create ETFs? So that you could bundle, just like you bought in the S&P 500 or whatever the mutual funds were. The ETFs are bundled cryptos that they can trade in the traditional fiat market. So what's happening? Trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars are funneling into the ETFs, all of which just began to be approved, Bitcoin being probably about a year old, maybe not even that. You've got how many, Attila, how many ETFs are hanging out there waiting for the government to reopen?
There's just over 90, and I think 23 of them are XRP ETFs.
Right, representing trillions of dollars that will automatically come into this market. It's going to dry up the liquidity. So what's happening? The institutions think they're getting over on you.
That's why
they're trying to force.
You can't own enough crypto.
They're trying to force. So going back, and I'll make the comment: when's a good time to if you're considering getting in the trader? Are you waiting for the market to go up? No. Now is the time. Now is the time. Because we are literally in the dinosaur age of retail institutional adoption of crypto. Here's what happens next, and I'll end the story and we'll move on to the next question. What happens? It's a trivia question. What happens when institutional adoption becomes saturated? Meaning all of the institutions have chased everybody out and eaten up all the inventory. What happens? And all the banks are now able to issue their own stable coins that are one-to-one backed. The liquidity of is going to dry up in the crypto market space, and it's going to move to the next rung, which is the final rung, which is retail adoption. Which, guess what happens if you wait for the retail adoption? You're too late.
Hey, Edward, did you know we
Yep.
got 12 more questions to go?
I do. I'm done. That was it.
Okay.
Perfect timing.
13.
Does anybody ever take surveys? Like if you go out, do you ever talk about crypto to other
No.
people out in the streets or whatever?
No, Ed,
I
we
do.
don't.
I do now.
I do. You know, like if I'm in Quest Diagnostics, you know, that blood work place, everybody's sitting in the waiting room like they're waiting to be executed or something. I don't know. They reminds me of, you know, what's that?
Did we lose
can't
him?
Bandwidth
think of-
just dropped. His bandwidth
What's
just
the
dropped.
one where they're all waiting? Gladiator, you know, when they're all waiting out there to go out, nobody's talking, you know. So I go in there and when I go in, I go, hey, anybody want to talk crypto? I just throw that out there, right? And usually, you know, people look down or they look up, they look away, you know, they're looking away from you, you know, like you said a bad word. And, or, you know, and last time I did it, you know, a few weeks ago, you know, the whole room started laughing, you know, and I laughed along too. And I'm like, wow, they are out of it. They are out of it. I ask when I'm in lines in stores, so you guys in cryptos? You know, they don't know what a crypto is. They're out of it. And then Attila came up with a number a few weeks ago. He said, oh, listen, or you did 8%, 8% of Americans are even
Yeah.
doing something with crypto, but most of them they don't know what they're doing. So
They're doing it wrong. They're guessing.
yeah. So they're just guessing and the coin prices keep going lower and lower. You notice every day, every other day we're getting hammered. And it's what I said, you know, I've been telling people for a month, we're gonna see blood in the streets before it goes up. And that's the opportunity to be loading up at the very bottom, man. All that inventory that we're just gonna dump for unbelievable prices. And we've seen it before. They're literally looking for the biggest payday ever, the mother of all paydays. And I recognized it all the way back in October of 21. As soon as they started driving, because before they started driving the market down, those of you can remember from April of 21 to October of 21, the market was going straight up. We were getting crazy moves. I used to have my laptop sitting right on my bedstand next to the bed. And in the morning, I would lift up the lid on the laptop to see how much I made while I was sleeping. It was amazing. It was thousands. I mean, I can make 500, I can make 12,000 in a day while I was sleeping. I mean, that's how great it was. And then something happened in October of 21. That's when the big boys said, wow, look at these cryptos. We want in. And when they want in, what do they got to do? They got to get everybody else out. And they want to buy at the lowest prices because they're looking for the mother of all paydays. They're going to make billions. And a lot of people are just most people they go all in at the top. The prices go down here because they're just buying holders. The prices go down here, they're dead. They're missing all the trades and the price is just going, and they're watching it going lower and lower. So what is their family and friends saying? Get out, you're going to lose everything. Because I know, because I get phone calls from people, you know, and I see what's going on. People are bailing. They're panicking. And I'm like, man, I'm loading up more and more at the bottom. You know, if this trader, if the market goes away completely, then the only way this thing loses is there is no crypto market. It doesn't exist. So either we're all delusional here. We see all the good news every day. We see BlackRock, we see Fidelity, we see the banks are now allowed to store crypto, which is amazing. That Genius Bill was genius in itself because before, the banks were anti-crypto. They hated you. You know, if you were taking money out of the bank to put it into the crypto market, they hated you. Now they're going to be able to store crypto. And since most people are buy and holders, wow, they could just store that crypto for the buy and holders and actually use it in their reserves. And that's a big deal because when I take 50,000 out of the bank, they hate me.
Right. Just
You
like
know, when I go to
just
a
like
bank,
just like you keep giving your money to the bank, not you, but but most people are
yeah.
buffaloed into thinking they give their money to the bank for free to use for free for them to lend it back and make money on you. So if you're delusional, then you have 353,476.63 reasons to be delusional.
Oh, yeah, right. I'm not delusional because I know I'm gonna be taking money forever. You
All
know, when
right.
I go to a bank, the vernacular today, some of you older folks like me remember when the vernacular used to be when you walked into a business, they used to say, "May I help you?" Remember that, those days when they would say, "May I help you?"
Mm.
Now the vernacular is, "How are you?" You notice that? That changed a few years ago to that. How are you? But when I go to a bank, it's really funny when they say, "How are you?" I go, "Hey, crypto's up, I'm up." They hate me. They hate me.
Ah,
Hey,
All right.
well,
Mark.
Marco has a question. You want to read it, Edward?
Yep. Have you had a trader experience a situation where the coin it's selected went to zero?
Well, the
If
coin
so,
didn't
what
select
happened?
that.
anything.
We
The
covered
coin
that.
didn't select
Yep.
the symbols.
Yep.
The
Yep.
trader, the trader didn't select the symbols. You did.
Right.
Um, but no, PRQ merged with another company and they became Renewal or something like that.
React.
Or React. All right. And
Right.
sometimes that kind of stuff happens.
It's
But it
like,
doesn't. Right.
have
It
you
doesn't
ever,
go away. I don't think anything's been. I mean,
No, I've never seen anything go to zero. No, I've never seen that.
yeah,
okay.
before I had the trader, I was a hodler. I've had more than 10 coins go to zero. Okay, so
I've
I've experienced that as a hodler. Now, again, this is outside of the trader. But like I said before, the chances of that happening moving forward are less and less and less and very remote because these exchanges have very stringent, much more stringent than even 2 years ago, qualifications for coins to get listed on their exchanges. It's their reputation at stake. They're getting more and more choosy, and they're adding more and more qualifications needed to be met. I just read that like two weeks ago.
Yep.
yep,
I don't see
yep.
these
That
top coins going away. I mean, I'd be very surprised. But you don't have to, like, you can say, all right, I don't want to trade Pirate, even though it's number 9 on the highest trade count report. It's not available at Kraken, but it is available at Coinbase. But it's a meme coin, so maybe you don't want to trade that coin. You go
Yep.
down and you find another one. Number 10 here. Well, that's only at Coinbase. If you're at Kraken, then XYO. XYO is. I mean, I see people doing it. I see all the traders, by the way. There's no secrets from me. So I know what people are doing. Everybody's grabbing just like the 7-Eleven report. They're trading the stuff that turns inventory. They're just using common sense, right? This is a common sense trader.
That's for
There's
sure.
no gambling going on here. There's no
Yep.
forecasting. I'm not predicting
there's
anything. I don't know what a
there's
coin's going to do.
there's no loyalty to the ticker. Okay, there's no loyalty. Until you talk about you've had coins go to zero. My next question for a follow up with that is, well, what exchanges were you playing in to get those coins? How did
Yeah.
you acquire those coins and went to zero?
Yeah,
Right.
did you go
To
to
prove that.
Pancake Swap? Did you go to
Yeah.
Pancake Swap to buy
Right.
it?
There's. I mean. There's. To back
yeah.
to piggyback on the point of this trader works at 2 and only 2 exchanges.
Right.
And those exchanges have arguably, within this space, stood the test of time, been as compliant as they possibly can. In fact, Coinbase was the first one to say, yeah, Mr. IRS, come on in. Everybody in the market was like, oh, what are you doing? That's the bad guys. What? But they're still around. They're still here. They're playing ball. Kraken, slightly different approach, but nonetheless, very much compliant. Very, very much. In fact, Kraken's, I think they're doing IPO very soon as well. Okay, so this is like, as in the business world, we want to see that. Okay, so again, to prove Attila's information there, and I know we're going to get into questions, but this very much bears worth repeating. The restrictions that are in place, the qualification processes that are in place to have these coins on the exchange is very much bigger, at least here in the States. Okay, Binance, Qcoin, etc. All these international exchanges, they have different rules because they're in different jurisdictions. Again, the importance, at least to me, of this works with Coinbase, US based company. I'm in the US. Kraken, another US based company. I'm in the US. Also, most coins available for trading in most of the jurisdictions that we have here in the States. And I'm talking about New York, New Jersey, Florida, Tennessee. Those are different jurisdictions. New York's, you guys got it rough. I mean, you can only do there's coins you can't even do at Coinbase in New York. That's just New York. It's their jurisdiction, right? So
and Hawaii.
And Hawaii's another one. Great example. I always forget about Hawaii. So can a coin go to zero? Yes. The likelihood of a coin going to zero now versus last year before, huge gap, in my opinion. Just as my own opinion,
excellent
right?
point.
Yep.
Excellent point. And you are to your point, you're absolutely right, because about 70% of those coins were through a DEX. Uniswap to what do you call it? Uniswap.
MetaMask or
MetaMask, thank you.
Meta.
That was
MetaMask
Meta.
is one. Yeah.
And then I had one out of Asia. In the beginning, when I first got into crypto, I couldn't buy the coins I wanted to buy unless I sent USDC to a Chinese exchange, and I bought them and I swapped them for the coin I wanted. It was very difficult.
Right.
Well, not only that, Coinbase is a publicly traded company.
Yeah.
I mean, that says a lot, Coinbase, being a publicly traded company. I don't know.
So
forward.
We're making headway here. We're making headway. Lisa says, Ed, Lisa is asking a question. What happens when the lots reach 25? I'm assuming it locks the buying until it sells off.
What happens is your funds will be, let me go in here. All your funds, it says it right on the bottom. It's say you're at 20, let's just put this at 25.
Right.
It's a 75, you start with a 75% expected trading window. From top to bottom is a 75% window. That means all funds right here, except the profits saved, will be used in that 25% window. So the software is going to make sure that it allocates the shares that it buys each time to make sure you have enough funds to go down 25 lots. And 3 times 25 is a 75% trading window. See, if you're adding on 3% drops times 25 lots, 25 times, it'll give you a 75% trading window. I call that a trading window. As long as it stays in that window, you're fine. Now, if you reach the 25, you will be out of money, theoretically. Okay? That means the software will have used up the funds that you gave it, your principal amount. But you're sitting in all those shares. Now, you want to increase it then. Let's say I'm going to increase it to 30. It's going to increase my trading window to a 90% trading window. But where am I going to get the funds? This is where I try to tell people the default setting on the profits saved is to save 100% of your profits. I don't have it there right now because I've already got $100,000 sitting in my save bucket. I'm not worried about it. But when I first started, this is the default, 100%. Percent of profits to save. So you should have a big bucket of money at that time. At that time, you could say, okay, I'm going to release 25,000 of that 106,000 to give the auto trader more money to work with now. Edit, go in here and say minus 25,000. If I click save, it's telling me amount in profit save bucket after clicking save is going to be 81,753. That's going to be that minus the 25,000. That's going to give the auto trader 25,000 from your save bucket. It's going to release it to the trader. It hurts me deeply when somebody runs out of money, and then I come and look and I raise and I'm helping them, and I say, okay, well, let's raise that to 30. So now you got more. Now let's go to the save bucket and release some money. Oh, look, they had 0 and there's no money in their save bucket. I'm like, you know, they weren't thinking ahead. Software is thinking ahead. The default is save 100% of your profits. Now you can live on it. I have a Visa credit card, a Coinbase credit card. I literally live off of it. Every time I use it, I just say to myself, you know, how much money can you spend in grocery stores anyways, you know? When I go to
Bad example, bro. Bad example.
Yeah, a couple $100, right? What's the most? And I say to myself, the card that keeps on giving, it's like Twilight Zone, you know. The only difference is when you remember the old one of those movies they had where every time you opened up the cigar box, you could reach in and pull out cash. But you know, in the Twilight Zone, every time you pulled out the cash, somebody in the world died.
Right.
That's evil, you know. So you know that's. But nobody's dying here. Every time I use, I can't. The profits my trader takes is just. The profits every month. I mean, this is like the slowest month I've seen in a long time. So far, only $1,100. You know, I mean, you know, usually I take anywhere from $10,000 to $30,000 a month in free money. It just keeps taking and taking and taking. You know, so but
quick,
yeah, I've got
quick interruption. Alex, yep, go put your kids to bed. We love that you joined us. About this time tomorrow, it'll be on the Financial Intelligence YouTube channel. So I'll quickly post that in, and then we'll resume. Kiss your kids good night. Be on the lookout. Subscribe to our channel, and you'll get reminded every time something's posted. Right.
But here's the deal: where people. Thank you, Alex. By the way, the thing is. It's usually the people that are running out of money are actually running out of money before they get to that bottom. Because you know, somebody will go in here and change this like 10. And then they got a 30% trading window. And it's like, that's going to squeeze all your money into that 30% window. And then the coin drops 50%. And then I'll get an email and someone will say, how come my auto trader's not buying anymore? Well, you don't have any money. You used it all up. I know one person, and I'm not insulting this person at all, but they did get excited a few months ago about XRP. They heard some news. They said it's going to go to 500,000 or something, and they went and went and bought $40,000. Went to Coinbase and bought $40,000 worth of XRP. That used up all the cash. There was no cash left in the account. And then they sent me an email and said, how come my auto trader's not buying anymore? And I'm like, well, you don't have any money. You manually used it. Every time you go to Coinbase and do things like buy other coins, you're taking away money from the auto trader. And because the auto trader is stretching your money out to a 75% trading window, the more money you use up here, the less money it has down here. So it'll give you the 75% trading window, but you'll be trading in a lot less volume. The size of it will be
right. The size of the amount of money for that lot, right? The volume, right,
will decrease as you're spending manually trading. I want to make the same amount of money down here with every trade as I was making up here. And so no matter where it goes, so I don't do any manual trading ever. Not even for a penny. I see it's like, well, it says if it goes up one more penny, it's going to take profit. I'm not going to give in. I'm not going to give in and say, go ahead and close it. No way. Because it's on there. You know, you can click. If you click on a plus, you can see right here, I can click close this lot if I wanted to. And I never do that.
Bad move.
No.
Yep. That's the only way. That's the only way you can lose. So Michael says, Ed, can you tell us a little bit more about GoBabyTrade data center, not to geek out, but redundancy, backup, exposure to third-party services, APIs, etc.
No, you can't even get to my servers unless you're in my house right here. But
what's your address?
yeah, right.
Just kidding.
What's my VPN? But even if you got into there, you'd be on a server and then you don't know any passwords, and all the servers, they're all independent, So, I've been doing this 25 years, I have failover clusters where if a server crashes, if a server crashed, just like light bulbs go out, we know the light bulbs go out, that's normal. Server crashes is normal. A power supply can go out. It's no big deal. It's routine. And, they within 10 minutes, each auto trader has a heartbeat, right? It's constantly writing in a database saying, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. If it quits writing that, then other servers will automatically pick up your job and run it. So you're able to run on, it doesn't matter what server you're running on. And so, and then as far as the failover, as far as the load balancers decide how many jobs can run on a server, just a lot of, I've been doing this 25 years. Someone said, what happened when that Amazon AWS went down, and how did that affect you? Didn't affect me at all. I don't use their stuff. I was going to say I don't use their junk. I mean, I don't need it. I can write it. I've been doing this 25 years. I have reduced this whole thing. I mean, I hardly ever have to go to the data center at all. I mean, everything just runs. And the backups, the constant backups on multiple servers of everything, is there's
Okay,
and you're extremely secure, by the way. I mean, everything's encrypted. If you looked at the database, there's nothing to see. I can't even get your password if I wanted your password. I couldn't get it. And I definitely don't have your Coinbase password, and so it's like everything is secure.
Right. All right.
right, so
Cool. Pete, I was told to leave the defaults. Default coins, my default coins are number 27 and 72. That's okay. Here's sort of a blanket statement with that. That's this month, right?
yeah.
Oh, I
Keep in
love
mind,
L3. I love L3.
keep in mind,
And 72 is SUI, right? I'm just guessing. Let's see.
Suey.
I love
so
it.
keep in mind,
I trade those too.
keep in mind, this report is closed profitable trades. If the market keeps going down or has been going down, 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 and you're a trader, you're fortunate enough, I know it sounds counterintuitive, you're fortunate enough to have a lot of inventory, it means that nothing is selling because they're forcing the prices down. Wait till the market moves.
Well, it could be selling, but it's buying it back on the wiggles. So it tries to go up and we sell it, and then it goes back down, and it goes up and we sell it, and it goes back down.
Yeah,
And
don't
then
be
it goes
afraid.
lower.
Don't be afraid. Look away from the defaults and just pay attention to what's happening. You don't even have to pay attention. Just watch the market, because when it bounces and when we start going in an uptrend, all of this inventory is going to be off. And these numbers, the very next month, because this is a monthly report, these numbers are going to shift violently.
Yeah, it's just jumping all over the place. But you're still getting, like, you have your other third coin you didn't mention was XCN, because I'm trading that coin also. And
Me
then
too.
I added a couple more. I threw 150,000 into a trader a couple months ago, and I added those three coins. Plus, I added Swift and SPA. I don't like more than 5 coins in a trader. It doesn't mean if you have $1,000, you should do 5 coins. I wouldn't do that. You only need a couple coins, really.
Yep.
You
So
don't, the biggest mistake people make, well, I shouldn't say the biggest, but one of the big mistakes they make is they try to trade too many coins. I mean, I know some of you maybe you own an auto trader and I'm not putting you down, but some people are sitting on 50 coins. And that means they've divided their money up so thin that they don't have much money in the coin.
Right.
Like if you were only trading 1% here, if you divide your money up to 1% per coin, well, you can't go by that, because I've already used 118,000. I'm just saying though, you split up your money too thin, and then when a coin jumps, you don't have any money. You're not making much.
Yep. Let me give you the example of Mr. Barsano's
I've
original
never
trader.
had more than 5 coins.
Example of Mr. Barsano's original trader when there were only 35 to choose from. He's not changed them since. And in less than 4 years, because December 19th, I think, of this year, had on your original trader that's made over $950,000 profit. There are 3 or 4 coins that are in there that he's never changed course on. By the way, not the most violently trading coins then or now. But over that 3.5, almost 4 year period, he has 5x'd his money without changing anything.
Over 100% a year.
Right. So,
and that's really up to the market. It's not.
Right.
It's not me. The first year, I mean, there was big times, and then there was slow times. The first year, when I turned on from October of 21 to the next year to October of 22, the coins were way down. They dropped 90%. But then people started calling me around December or January of 23 in my other trader. And they said, Ed, look at this. Look at my closed trades. And that was the first time I had a chance to observe greatness. The closed trades P&L was greater than the open positions P&L. So even though the coins dropped 90% that first year, we made more money than what we were down on our open inventory. We were already net positive. And then from then on, this number just kept going higher and higher. And we got the market trapped at the bottom. I keep saying that I can't get over it. I just think it's so diabolical that we got the market trapped at the bottom. Because as long as these coins stay in business, they're just going to keep paying me. And every time they try to break out, they pay me even more. So we got them just trapped down there.
Yep. All right.
I know what the whales are doing. They're trying to get it. They're just buying as much as they can because they know the prices are going to go back up here.
Right.
And when they do, they're going to make a fortune, man.
All right. So
get richer.
So they just finished the New York Marathon, and we're running. We can see the finish line. So Pete says my GoBabyTrade account kicks me out after 3 minutes of non-use. Is there a way to lengthen the kick out time?
Good question.
What does he mean by kick out?
I guess auto logs him out.
So I've experienced this PC versus cell phone, right? On my cell phone, I will like go to another page within the platform on my cell phone, and then it will have me log back in. Versus, I mean, like almost immediately sometimes,
Can I tell you what happened? Can I tell you what happened?
Tell me what happened.
That's the load balancer. That's the load balancer. One of our load balancers crashed. A device crashed like a week ago.
Okay.
And it's losing its state. When you move to another page, it doesn't know where it's making you log in.
Okay. It's almost like doing it. It's forcing you to do it.
You notice the trader hasn't done that, even though it's refreshed the screen.
No.
Every 30 seconds, it refreshes the screen. Watch. When I leave that on here like this, watch what happens in 30 seconds. We can keep on talking in the meantime.
Yep. So, right. So we're down to 2.
You see how it all went away?
There, yeah, yep.
Every 30 seconds, it refreshes the screen. Otherwise, we can't just keep pounding the screen, changing every time every minute or whatever, or every second. You wouldn't be able to read the numbers.
I will say
this isn't your auto trader, folks. This is a picture of your auto trader.
Right. It's a window. It's a window.
It's a web page that's showing you what your trader's doing. Your auto trader, the numbers are flying, and it's not looking. There's no graphical interface for the actual auto trader. Those numbers, because that slows things down, having to write write things across the internet and all that. That's
So
what's nice
Cody,
about having all the auto traders running on my servers.
Cody says, if it's just buying on 3% dips and selling on 5% gains, what is the neural network actually doing? Couldn't I achieve the same with a simple script? Ouch.
No.
No.
No. No, because the numbers are changing. It's not just doing that. There's a lot more. Plus, there's a lot of rules that rules have to pass also. It's not, it doesn't mean, it's got to do money management and everything. You can try it. Somebody actually asked me that a few days ago. I remember I looked over, you didn't see me look over. You see where I'm looking over right now? There's like one of those, what are those couches that have just, it's a long thing like you could lay on it. What are they
Jay's
called?
Lounge chair.
That's what it is. Okay. I was sitting on that. And the guy said, I'm a programmer. I want to create my own. I said, okay, how old are you? And he said, well, I'm 40 years old. I said, okay, well, when you're 65, that's where you'll be right where I am today.
Exactly. Yeah. Cody,
But
if
you
you got
don't know
25,
what you don't know.
yeah.
And the knowledge I have doesn't mean you will not have gained the same knowledge that I have over the last 25 years, because I gained my knowledge from having thousands of clients giving me feedback. So I didn't have to make every mistake. I watched other people make thousands of mistakes. Hey, it was their strategy, not mine. And I learned what works and what doesn't work. So you're not there. That means, how many times do you think you can lose all your wealth and then start over again?
Yeah, good luck on that
You'll
one,
be wiped
Cody.
out. I mean, I wouldn't do it. You already got an auto trader right here. What a gift from God, really. And I'm not calling
Amen.
myself God, but what a gift that to have
Thunderbolt.
somebody that could spend 25 years. See, that's the thing. I'm in a unique situation because I've been retired since 95. I'm already I'm a
Bored
well
since '95. That's beautiful.
I mean, I'm done. What's that?
Bored
You've
since
been bored
95.
since '95, right?
know.
You know,
Well, I
it's
was
like,
only
oh,
bored the
I
first
got all
5
this time, I got all this money.
No,
3
the
years
first
later,
couple years, the
this is
first couple years was
crap.
fun being retired. But then
Yeah,
after
yeah.
that, I want to drive my car into a wall. You know, what was
How'd it go?
interesting though is you need also, if you're going to
Sorry.
create your own trader, you need feedback and you need
Yeah.
lots of feedback and you
Data,
need
data,
people
data.
that are going to tell you whether you're on the right track or not. Like
Yeah.
TD Ameritrade called me in 2006 out of the blue. And I'm like, and right here on this phone, and I'm like, not this one. This is an iPhone 11, but it's the same phone number though. And he called and he said, "Will you connect your robotic trader to us to TD Ameritrade so our clients can use it?" And I'm like, "Why are you calling me? And how do you even know me?" I'm like, "I don't advertise or anything. I'm just word of mouth. Clients who use it share it, and that's it. They share their success." And his answer was the most, I wanted on my headstone what his answer was. He said, "You're real." Isn't that just like the ultimate answer? He said, "You're real." And I said, "You're right, I am real." And I mean, that's a heck of a statement to have a multi-billion-dollar company like TD Ameritrade say we trust your auto trader enough to give it to all of our clients. I thought that was amazing. So I'm the youngest of 6 kids, so I always got to have constant feedback. Eddie, you're doing good. I got to hear it. You got to hear it to know that, am I on the right track? Am I right? Am I right?
Yep.
Yes.
Because you are battling. It's not easy to be the abstainer. It's not easy when I'm bucking the whole system. I'm doing the opposite of what everybody else is doing. Everything they're teaching out there's all wrong, and they got you going. You're spinning your wheels. They don't even know what they're doing. They're all, I mean, I presented to audiences every week, to live audiences all over the country. I mean, I remember, I'm going to look over to my left because I remember this one guy in the audience. He said, you should. You're adding to losing positions. That's like catching a falling knife. I'm like, lose the cliches, man. You don't even know what you're talking about. In his mind, you should sell a coin or a stock when it's down. I'm like, you'll be selling at a loss every other day. They actually teach you in the training classes, if a stock goes down 3%, sell it. And it's like, man, you be selling at a loss every other day. It's like, forget it. And then
All
what's
right.
worse is the guy teaching the class isn't even in the market. They're lying.
Yep.
So that's even worse,
All
that the
right,
guy teaching the class
Ed,
doesn't even know what he's talking about.
we're literally down to our last question.
Have at it, Attila.
All right, so Marco's asking, sorry, I've got too much time to think here, but I'm not clear on the selling of lots for profit. When what you've done is simply lowered your average price across the holdings of a single coin as the
Don't look
price.
at an average price. It means nothing.
Nope.
No,
Yeah.
average is
I
yeah,
don't think,
average is average.
yeah, it's a little confusing the way he asked the
Because
question.
if I buy something at 10 and then I buy it at, and it goes down to 1 and I buy it again, when it goes up to 2, I can sell the one I bought at 1 for 2 and take profit. I could do that 1,000 times, 10,000 times. You saw it in the bucket in the well. I can hold that loser up there and trade down here in perpetuity. As
You
long
know-
as that coin stays in business, it never has to go back up there.
Yeah, Marco's
Otherwise-
assumption is that it's all accumulation of one position,
Right.
but it's
It's
not.
holding. Yeah,
It-
it's a holding. He's going from a holding position. I'm in a DCA all the way down, win moon, then I liquidate, and that's not the play here.
No.
Yeah.
No, each lot is considered its own profit center.
If
Right.
you do what you said, the coin right down here would have to go, watch when it goes down one more. The coin you bought here would have to go halfway up to break even if I was going to sell the whole thing. But I'm constantly selling the one lot. And then when it jumps up there, I can sell it all and take all that profit.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
this is a money machine. And once you get it, and Marco, you may not get it. It may take you a long time.
He got it.
Actually, I've had people that have signed up and said, I was looking at this thing 6 months ago, and I don't know why I waited this long. And that's the biggest thing that you're gonna feel, because once you get this, it's in your head now. You are gonna go automated, whether you do it now or you do it a year from now, because everything else is gambling. We're not gambling at all. That's the beauty. We're not gambling at all. We're just taking free money. I'm running a 7-Eleven without the bricks and mortar. Do you think 7-Elevens are gambling?
No.
Or McDonald's is gambling? They look at the cost of everything and they figure out, what do I have to sell these hamburgers
Yeah,
for?
they're only gambling on your health.
Well, you know what?
Yeah. If you eat there, that's ooh.
I love it. I love their filet of fishes, though. I really do.
Oh man.
Dude,
it's
I
not
don't care.
healthy.
I don't care. I love them. I love Jack in the Box tacos too.
Hey, yeah,
But let me
I'll-
say this.
I second that. I'll give you
I
some
love
love
those
on that one.
tacos. They used to be 2 for $1. They're like 2 for $2 now. They're
Yeah,
still.
not
Stop, you're
anymore.
making me hungry.
But what was I gonna say? I mean,
You
made
love
me
filet of
forget
fish.
something.
Okay. we
No,
gotta-
but once you get it, it's in game, because I can tell you what all the clients are doing, and because I get constant feedback, and people are selling their rental properties. They're shutting down. They're selling their businesses. Some people are mortgaging their house. If you go to the video, I actually put a video out on here on the website. Where is it? Under the videos, I put a video out here, and what did I say here? Don't do this when buying cryptos, this one. And you know what I say in there? Don't mortgage your house, because people are doing that. They're mortgaging their houses to get more money to throw into the auto trader. It's just a numbers game. The more money you put in, the more money it's just going to make per trade. And you want to get those numbers up there. And, it's once you get it, then you'll see what I'm talking about.
Perfect.
And if you don't get it now, you'll get it later. We're not salesmen here. I don't think any of us are salesmen.
Marco
I'm not a
says,
salesman, that's for sure. I couldn't sell candy when I was in 7th grade.
Marco says, can you mortgage your wife's house?
Only
You mean
you
you're-
can. You can. It's kind of a death sentence kind of a thing there. There's a
Oh,
death
yeah.
sentence clause, right?
Oh, yeah, I don't know how to cook. I wouldn't last
Well,
long.
But you mean your ex-wife's house?
Yeah.
All
Whoever
right,
figures
gentlemen.
that one out.
Okay, we got to wrap up.
Gentlemen, We have literally gone longer than the person that won the marathon yesterday to run a marathon.
4, 5,
So-
6, 7. 3 hours and 19 minutes. Yeah, that's a record.
3 hours and nope, you're 4 minutes short of a record. However,
I can stay here for 4 more minutes.
Oh,
to
I
break a
can
record.
I can
got
do
no
a
problem.
15
all
minute.
right. So wait a minute. Hold on.
Go
Hold
ahead.
on.
Go ahead, Edward.
Time out.
Go ahead.
Time
Go
out.
ahead, Edward. Go
I
ahead.
am going to bring up. Here's it. I'm now renaming this as the. Actually, I'm going to kick you off there, Ed.
Oh, yeah,
Let me see.
Let me get off.
No. You're good. I got you. All right. Can everybody
All
see
right.
this?
No.
I told you at the beginning
That's
we would
right,
deal from
right.
facts. Okay.
Right, thank you.
This is an outlandish slide. So now I'm going to call it a missed opportunity slide. You think it's outlandish, but it's not. This is actually a conservative historical value of what Mr. Barsano's Traders has done. Over that and I told you before, over the 3.5 year, it'll be 4 in December, late December, that it's 5x his money. So would you agree that in 3.5 years, 5x your money is more than 100% on your money cumulative over that period of time? It's not math. It's just a yes, right? So let's say, oh, by the way, let me remind you, in a 90% down plus 90% plus down market, it created that. So let's just assume that we're going to see either a static or a rise bull market. We've not been in a bull trend since this product was released, but let's just say that it repeats itself and maybe even does higher. It could be, let's say it's half, right? People often ask, okay, I invest $3,500. Yes, I know I'm getting a $1,000 discount, but if then how much money do I have to put in to make it worthwhile? I'm going to give you 2 examples. One that's not on this slide. If it only made you $20 a day over a 3-year period, that would be $21,900 on your $5,000 invested, right? Now let's go to the screen. Opportunity lost. I'm going to draw your eyes to the equal signs. If you didn't own the trader and it repeated itself, these numbers would be opportunity lost. So 3 years, your 5 turns into 10, turns into 20, turns into 40. I take your $5,000 out. I take your tool money out. You're a net profit or opportunity lost of $31,500. Forget about the cents for a second. This is where I said at the very beginning, if I asked you to give me $1 and I promised you 3 at the end of the 3 years, how many dollars, Simon? You answer the question. How many dollars would you give me? The answer was all of them, right? So if the end of 3 years, your 5 turns into 40, really your 5 turns into a net of 31.5, is there a probability that you're going to renew that license? The answer is yes. At the end of the 6 years, 5 turns into 320. Now, this is assuming that you're just staying in it, taking the profit, releasing it when necessary, and so on, right? Your $5,000 original investment I take out, you bought another license, so you're up to $7,000 invested. Your net opportunity lost, your net opportunity lost is $308,000. If you do that, are you likely to renew? The answer is yes. I won't wait for an answer. So your $5,000 over that period of time, at the end of 9 years, it's $2,560,000. I take your 5 out. You've now renewed it for a 3rd time. Your opportunity lost is 2.5 million. Now let's say you go, that's crazy. Drop that in half. I won't read all the numbers. You can read it yourself. We're semi-adults, right? Opportunity lost, opportunity lost, opportunity lost. Again, back it all the way down to 25 or 30%. I don't know where you can get that kind of money, but I can tell you, based on what I know of the fiat finance scam system, that if you're not making 20% of your money, you're just getting poorer slower.
Can I tell you the market has been going down, right? Over the last 4 years. They're torturing everybody as much as they possibly can. But in order for you to continue to be tortured, they have to go down again for the next 4 years. How are they going to do that?
They can't.
The coins are already sitting at the bottom. There is no
They can't.
market if they try to do that again. That means they has to go up. And when it does, we are going to kill it, man.
Yeah.
You know, and think about this also when you're running a robotic trader. How did you ever think about yourself? How did you feel about the market? But I don't like looking at myself. I'm looking at myself here in the mirror, like I'm staring at myself in the mirror while I'm talking. This is awful.
Practice.
Now I'm looking at Simon. Okay. All right. Now at least I feel like I'm talking to somebody. Thank you.
Well, that's good. Okay, I'll stay right here. I'll stay in frame.
Thank you. And every once in a while you got to talk. So
No problem.
But you know, think about all the years. I mean, our whole life, our entire life, we've been in the market, in the stock market, and it's always been a mystery and a gamble.
Right.
And I've been doing this now 25 years, and I can tell you, the longer you run this, you're at ease with the market, man. You're done. You're done with the planet. It just changes everything, man. And it's amazing because everywhere I go and I'm looking at the people and talking to people out there, and I'm like, dear Lord, they don't know. They don't realize that it's all free money.
It's
They
a
don't
paradigm
get it.
shift for sure.
And it's painful to see it. But you know, you've heard the expression, and I hear other people say it. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. And it's an interesting thing. It's tough for us to be preaching this stuff and showing example after example after example. You know, once when I first moved,
I started yesterday when we started this. I started by saying we were going to deliver fact, and that's what we've done.
yeah, there's everything. There's no fluff here at all. Everything is just actual, real numbers, real fact. It's just. I mean, it's just numbers up and down, and it's amazing.
Truth is a funny thing, though. Truth and fact is a real funny thing. Most of us don't buy the truth or fact, right? Like we fight that. I think I think I fought more truth in my life than BS. Pardon the term, lies, okay, or something that is askew, right? The askew, it's like, oh yeah, that makes sense. But you tell the truth, I'm like, that's impossible.
Yeah. Well, we've been trained to go along, to get along. Yeah. But guess what?
Fair.
You want me to break out a few good men? You can't handle the truth.
This is facts.
You're exactly on that wall.
Yeah.
So listen,
you know,
you guys have now conquered the record.
Yeah, but we're not done yet.
Ed and I are in a whole different time zone. Like I literally got probably another 5 hours I could rock this thing out. So, you know, I mean, sorry, fellas, I'm not going to do that.
When I first moved to Arizona, back in '95, the electric bill, you got 3 air conditioners, right? Because it gets hot out there. And I remember they said, we want you to deposit more money, and we don't want you to just make a payment every month because your bill's like $1,000 a month. We want you to put extra money in there. And they said, well, but we'll sweeten it for you. We'll give you 10% interest for whatever you put in. I said, okay, I'll give you $1 million then. And right away she's like, oh no, I can't do that. I'm like, hey, you want to give me 10? Back then, I'll give you $1 million and you give me 10% a year. You know, why not? I'll give you 10 million.
Yep.
But then she said, oh no, I can't take more than 10,000. I'm like, give me a break.
What am I going to do with that?
All right, fantastic. All right. Four. Good. Simon, I promised at the very beginning you would give us your 2 cents. So now we're going to move into closing arguments and final comments. And Simon, you're our special guest. Go right ahead.
Closing thoughts is, first off, thank you guys for doing this. I look forward to doing this again in 2 weeks from today. Hopefully a little.
Me too.
A little shorter maybe for some of those on the East Coast that can't handle.
We'll cut it by 10 minutes.
Yeah, we'll cut it by 10 minutes.
We make all this stuff up as we go. We're working.
Yeah, I know. Who said we could be salesmen after shows like this, right? We got the gift of gab. Really, guys, here's what I want you guys to focus on. Those of you that know me in the infinite banking concept world, okay, in the beginning, this thing can move slow. Okay. And I'm talking for this kind of compounding effect. We didn't address this tonight. Okay. But this does lock in profits. I have multiple videos of it locked in 4 cents because I'm only doing $200 in baby trade. Everybody here is like, why are you doing that? I'm doing that just to drive a point home of, even though that's peanuts, because we as a society will poo-poo a dollar. Dollar, that's nothing, blah, blah. It's like, I'm sorry. The point here is you didn't have to do anything to earn that dollar. The trader did that for you. So let this thing work for you. Okay. I just want you guys to focus on that. That's my closing thoughts for tonight.
Excellent.
Links down below somewhere.
Yep, I just posted them again.
Perfect.
I'll post your discount link again while Mr. Barsano gives his closing. Besides Go Navy, gives his closing remarks.
I took it away. I try to tell my
Stole his
nephews, when they're years ago, when they were younger, coming out of high school, I'd say, so what are you going to do, when I visited them in Chicago? And they said, well, I'm not doing anything, I'm going to just take some time off. I said, why don't you go to Navy for 4 years, man? It'll change your whole life. And they act like I'm asking them to run through a rice paddy with a machine gun or something. And I'm like, man, it changed my whole life, man. I mean, it's, I found my niche, programming. And I highly recommend that for anybody, everybody. Seriously, it changes you. But yeah, go Navy, and thank you for inviting me, Simon.
Hey,
And
pleasure to have you
too
here.
bad Alan wasn't here. I always enjoy talking to Alan.
Yeah, we'll get him on. We'll get
That'll
him
be
on.
a 4-hour
But
show
no,
guaranteed.
I really seriously enjoy it. I like to share what we have.
Yeah.
And
It's good stuff.
Well, we're all of us are focused on serving others. So, Mr. Attila, what say you, sir?
I just wanted to ask Ed not to be so shy next time. Just talk a little bit more, Come on, man. Let it all out. Come on.
let me add one more thing. When I went when I interviewed at Microsoft, they called me out of the blue, and by the way, back in '87, and said, "Will you come in and interview?" Because I was working on this other computer that they didn't know how to program. But anyways, when I went, they asked me if I'd come in and interview, and I was standing in front of a whole room full of programmers at Microsoft. And they were throwing questions out and all that, and I was answering it and everything. And so they hired me. And then 9 years later, when I was leaving, I was sitting in the personnel office and with my personnel folder, and I was surprised. I never knew I had a personnel folder, and it had all the stuff, all the jobs, all the promotions, everything. And at the very bottom were comment sheets. At the very bottom, like the first things they added to this personnel folder were the comment sheets from that first interview from the other programmers, the stuff that they wrote. And I remember I remember one guy wrote in big bold letters, intense, scary. Now, I didn't know he did that until I was leaving 9 years later. If I knew that he wrote that 9 years ago, it might have influenced my behavior going forward, but I didn't know he wrote that. So I was me right to the end.
That's great, Ed.
All right.
Love that story.
So my last words, and you have scored a record, Mr. Barsano. I just want to say thank you for the opportunity for letting us share this information. If you choose that, if you so choose that it's a good decision, then great. We'd love to have you as part of the family. I want to also say thank you to Simon, Alan, the entire Staple crew, the entire Simon Says Crypto crew for having the wherewithal and the smarts to invest your time into something you may not have been ever exposed to. Something that we hope blesses you for the rest of your life and allows you to, as I shared from the very beginning, the opportunity to create a legacy for my children's children. Mr. Barsano, I always end by saying thank you so much for the opportunity to put us in a position where we don't have to worry about things anymore. You talked about being at peace with the world. You talk about what's here. Here's oxygen, right? How important is oxygen? What comes next? What's the next most important thing?
My wife.
Water.
Oh.
All right, your wife. Not the right answer. Neither one of you. Money. Money. Either like Mr.
I
Barsala.
never
I mean,
even think about money.
Mr. Attila said that if you have more money at the end of the month, things get a lot easier than more money at the end of the money. So
That's true.
with that,
Money.
I'll steal Attila's thunder for a second. We want you to prosper. Go forth and multiply your money. We are so grateful for the opportunity. We'll be here every 2 weeks. You'll get notification. I believe it's the 17th. Always on a Monday, always at 7 p.m. Eastern. We're here to serve you. If you have any questions, I posted the links a million times. Be on the lookout on the channel. We would love it if you subscribe to the channel. We'll make sure that you're completely updated. We'll get all the information to Simon and Alan. And that's it. We love you guys. Thank you so much.
Good night, everyone. We'll see you next time. Thank you.
Cheers.
God bless everybody.
Thanks,
Take
Ed.
care, everybody.
Bye-bye.